Alrighty, looks like we are good to go. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, or whatever time you guys are watching. A lot to talk about here today. The first thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the Fed. Afterwards is what happened with Bitcoin because it went crazy. Hey, Loki says hello. Loki, come here. Come here. There you go. Up-a-doo. Yeah, there you go. Loki says hello. Excuse me. So first, sorry, I'll start over here. First is going to be the Fed, then what happened to Bitcoin, and then of course we'll be going over what happens next with both the overall market and what happens to Bitcoin prices as well, because you guys know this is going to be a huge time for crypto markets, because all of a sudden everybody went from being bearish to, well, I went from being bearish to I don't know, which is a good thing. And then we'll talk about my thoughts and things like that. Definitely going to be an interesting day, to be sure. This will be about a 2-hour stream, I think. And then tomorrow, I'm hoping to have 3 or 4 2-hour streams, so 8 hours of streaming, because I'm really going to try to grind this out. But I really want me to have breaks in between, so I'm going to try to do that as much as possible. And or I might not do morning streams. I may just do a midnight stream every now and again from midnight to 2 a.m. my time, which is like 2 a.m. Eastern time to 4 a.m. Eastern time, and maybe that'll work out at the same time. So I'm going to be testing out different times over the next few days. If it just looks like I'm up at a random time, yeah, I'm probably up streaming at a random time. So let's get started with everything. Hey, the works, K Plugs, J Judaman, Financial Common Sense. Appreciate you being a member as always. Productions, Dusty White, Kira, Richard, Tony, K Plugs again, and Dusty White again. There you go. All right, light the cigar. I'm vaping on. Oh, I have a Padron 1964 right here, smoking already. I just started coughing though right before I smoked it. I messed up the cut, and so a little bit of the cigar clippings were in my mouth, and I was just hacking up a lung a few seconds ago. Definitely not the best thing. I just got a text message. Let me just make sure there's nothing important. Okay. So I just got my message about where I'm staying for the Vegas trip next month. I'm staying at the Sahara. I have not stayed there before, but I know the food is absolutely amazing there. So, excuse me, I will be dining there. So that'd be nice. I'll even post some content while I'm there so you guys can see what I'm up to as always. Vegas is always a really fun time for me. And you guys know why. I go crazy down there. But anyway, so first of all, let's just talk about Bitcoin. We'll do the Fed stuff second here. After the Fed's Jerome Powell came out and talked today, we did see a huge move up on the market. You can see how the daily chart looked right here. Last night, when we last talked about this in the prior evening, we saw Bitcoin coming back down, breaking through support after support after support, not having a full-on large move down like all at once. It really was a measured fall here, and that was interesting. To me, that was a good sign of buyers still wanting to keep Bitcoin from completely flushing out. And that's one of the reasons I told you guys it looks like we were finding a little bit of support last night. Although, just like before, where is that right here? This support was kind of iffy. If you guys bought over here, it kind of knocked you down a few times. And then, of course, after the Fed announcement, we started to go sky high here. And then, of course, last few hours, we topped off, and we've now started to come back down just a little bit. Now, while the Fed did make a larger move, caused a lot of chaos, saying, again, we're going to be talking about that in a second. At the same time as this Bitcoin spike, we saw the dollar index just coming straight down, and it looks like it's reopened back up here. I'm not entirely sure what happened here, why that was a quick little lag. But basically, the dollar index spiked all the way to $104. That seems a little abnormal to me. Probably a glitch of some type. Has to be, but anyway, the dollar index came all the way down from about 104.12 all the way down here to 103.17. So pretty much $1, which is a pretty good move in the dollar index here. Remember, we're only about 104. That's a excuse me, that's a pretty big move for a currency to make. Go back over here to the 4-hour chart. You can definitely see that we are getting rejected time after time after this trend line here, and that's good for Bitcoin. We don't want to break out. If we were to break out here, that means a really bad news for Bitcoin over the next few weeks, probably the next few months. And then, of course, that would mean the stock market might go into a bit of a freak out moment here, which would be interesting to say the least. Let's just say that. Now, you guys know my rules. Excuse me. about Bitcoin and everything right now. I am still not bullish on Bitcoin. I am still dollar cost averaging. We did have that breakout that we were talking about earlier on the day as well. And look what happened. Boom, right here. Right? The breakout's not happening as well as you might think. And that's again because we're still seeing some bearish activity on the daily chart and a little bit on the weekly chart, not too much. I'm waiting at this point in time. Actually, let me just go over here to the fresh chart. Daily chart on Bitcoin. I'm waiting for the MACD to turn back to being positive, the stochastic to turn back to being positive, and the RSI to turn back to being positive. This might only take 2 or 3 days for it to happen. And then once that occurs, I'll be much more bullish because typically, once we are breaking all-time highs, once we are in a bull market where everything is going crazy, typically we don't have daily death crosses here between the 20 and the 50 daily moving averages. We keep on going higher and higher. And sure, they may come close every now and again, but typically we are not having these crossovers. Typically, when we have these crossovers, it kind of marks the end of the cycle, which is not going to be happening around $74,000, I would assume. You can see back over here in 2017, all-time high, followed by the death cross. It led to some nasty things, of course. And again, once we started to break out back in 2020, you can see we did have our drops, we did have our volatility, but the 20 and the 50, while they may have come close, Bitcoin always found a way to boost and get out of there before those larger moves happen. Even over here, Bitcoin was falling like a rock for a couple weeks. We almost had the death cross, and all of a sudden, boom, we went sky high, and that saved us. And eventually, when we did have the death cross, you saw Bitcoin go from about, 56,000, 57,000, all the way down here to those levels we saw in July, June, about 30,000. So pretty drastic move. We'll have to wait and see if we do have a second rebound here. That would surely be something for this cycle. But I'm anticipating that move to happen sometime pretty soon. But again, I'm not even swing trading at this point. I'm just going to wait for the momentum to come in here. So if I do a swing trade, I don't want it to be liquidated or closed before I have the opportunity to kind of watch it go up and go higher and higher and higher. Even if that means that, by the time everything turns green, Bitcoin's up here at $76,000, $77,000, so be it. I'll still be buying up there as long as there's some type of breakout to achieve. All right, let's go back over here. The rest of the altcoins are actually in pretty good shape here. Ethereum had a pretty robust bounce up. Let me go over here and make this auto. Ethereum bounced right off of a Fibonacci level and the 50-day moving average. Not nearly as close to a death cross as Bitcoin is right now, so that kind of gives me a little bit more hope. Solana still doing okay. Still down, but of course, like most all coins here. ADA coming back up a little bit more. Dogecoin had a really robust day. Those tokens that fell down the most had a pretty good day today. I think Dogecoin was up almost 16-17% if I recall. AMP still going sideways. A lot of tokens right now still dealing with the aftermath of those larger downward moves, like AXS right here. It was at $13, now it's at $10. It was all the way down here at $8. Definitely some larger moves. But my main goal for now, regardless of the charts, is just to continue dollar cost averaging. That's all I'm looking to do. Nothing crazy, nothing sexy or exciting. All I'm doing is waiting. And I think by waiting, I'll have a better opportunity. But it seems like we've bottomed out as far as momentum is concerned. The momentum can always re-accelerate to the downward side, which is why I'm not doing a swing trade right now. But you can see, maybe if I showed this to you like this. You see how we went from a darker red to a lighter red? That shows momentum is decelerating right here. Just like right here, momentum is accelerating, decelerating, but still going in the right direction. Accelerating again, and so forth. We're heading in the right direction, which is going to be a good sign for us over the next few days. So, if we could hold on, I might say maybe until the Saturday candle starts up, so Friday evening, perhaps. My time at least. I think we should be good for a pretty robust weekend here. So again, I'm going to be still dollar cost averaging pretty heavily, but I'm not going to be doing any swing trades until I see a breakout with all the momentum kind of pushing us along, if you will. All right, now the market hit all-time highs in a few categories here. We're still going crazy. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. How do I even describe what that was? And I was on a page here, wasn't I? No, there was I had a story here. No. Oh, the story might have gotten pulled. That's okay. The Federal Reserve holds interest rates steady with no immediate relief for consumers from sky-high borrowing cost. Basically, if you guys are just an average Joe out there, your interest rates are still going to be high. It's going to be painful to have those auto loans, those credit cards, and those mortgages. It's still going to be costing a lot of money. And if you want to buy a house and you're waiting for those rates to come down a little bit more, substantially, it's still going to take some time. However, the big thing here is that we are still expecting to have 3 rate cuts this year. That is going to be what the market wanted to hear. That's one of the reasons we boosted. The reason why you might have seen stocks go a little bit more parabolic than we might have otherwise thought, while things kind of got crazy here from right around here when the announcement came out, is because Jerome Powell was so much more dovish than he needed to be. He pretty much said, like, hey, we're not going to raise rates at all anymore this cycle. We've reached the peak. And then he says, even though we have inflation accelerating and going up right now, we don't think it's actually going to be a problem, and therefore we don't have to react to it. And then that means, of course, okay, then all we have to do is wait for cuts. And if the market knows exactly what's happening, just rate cuts, even if the inflation's going higher, that will still drive the market up. And I want to remind you guys, inflation is good for the stock market. It makes things go higher, typically. It allows companies to start price gouging, raising prices up more and more and more, and the consumer starts to take that more and more of the brunt of that cost. There's also the inflationary component of just spending so much money from the government side or printing so much money, all of that stuff, yes. But basically, the stock market does like an inflationary environment here, which is why typically the Federal Reserve aims for 2% inflation and not 1% inflation or 0.5% inflation, etc. There might even be a story in here, actually. Let me ash this out here very fast before I make a mistake like yesterday or last night. I think there was a story earlier. No. No, I think it was actually just something I saw on YouTube, but it's okay. But basically, you know that companies are going to be able to raise prices pretty easily during an inflationary environment. The issue with this stuff is if inflation does continue to get worse, this is where it turns into a downward cycle because of how the Fed will eventually have to correct themselves, they might have to correct themselves. If inflation goes up, that means the prices of goods that you guys all pay for, whether it be rent, a house, a car, food, gas, anything, energy, sector, that means that you guys can spend more money, which means that you're going to demand from your boss that you have more pay, or you're going to try to find a new job. And if your boss has to pay you more money, he's going to have to raise prices for whatever product he sells out there on the open market, whether it's a restaurant, a toy for manufacturing toys, he's an ice cream salesman, who knows? You get what I'm saying. And that will make inflation get worse, and that means eventually the Fed might have to react by saying we may have to raise rates again. And this all goes back to what we've been talking about over the past, oh gosh, we've been talking about this for over 2 years now. Inflation has not come down as much as I think people think in that time frame. Here. I'll just go to max. We don't have to pay attention to too much. These spikes that happen historically when we do have high inflation, we come back down pretty rapidly and then we start going back up. And then eventually the Fed will have to correct itself and do something to fix that. Happened back over here in 1944. I think the market's a little bit different than then, just like it's different from 1985 and 1970, whatever. Still, there's usually a form that we have to readjust, or the Fed has to readjust. So typically what happens is, look over here above my head and you see how rates went down and then up. Basically, there might be an opportunity if the Fed does cut rates in June, we may actually start to go back up and then he has to adjust again. So this is going to be a long process. It's not going to end anytime soon. And Jerome Powell pretty much threw in the towel, at least for now, with dealing with inflation. He just doesn't care. I would have said back in 2022 when the market was crashing and falling and you guys were watching all these different assets, like for the SPY, for example. Let's go right here. No, when the SPY was falling off of a nasty cliff down here, I would have said that Jerome Powell is prioritizing inflation over prioritizing the economy because he wants to stabilize the economy. I don't think he necessarily wants to stabilize the economy anymore. Instead, I think what he's trying to do is just focus on getting the economy. Oh, excuse me. I don't think his goal is to fight inflation anymore. I think his main goal is just to keep the economy going strong. And I think that's going to be what he's focused on for the next few months at least, until it becomes unbearable for the Fed to deny that inflation is going back up, in which case then we might see some more bumpy rides, and that may actually end up killing the long-term bull market for Bitcoin here. So keep an eye on this, or I'll keep an eye on it for you, but just keep that in mind here, because if he's just going to ignore it for a while, that gives Bitcoin and the rest of the markets an access to just go higher and higher and higher from here, which is good news for all of us that hold assets. But when he does inevitably make that change, that may cause a lot more chaos and uncertainty, which will, of course, you know, make all of us worry a tad bit more. And I say that because, you know, Bitcoin fell down a little bit over the last few days. You know, right here fell down a little bit, just like we fell down over here, right? And people went crazy. People were freaking out. And all it took was Jerome Powell to kind of bring a little bit more pep in our step, basically. So just keep those factors in mind. I'll be reminding you guys every now and again. But the fact that he's kind of ignoring inflation is not something I was really going to hear today. He covered up with the dovish talk and or data dependent and stuff. But his main goal doesn't seem to be, at this point, doesn't seem to be fighting inflation. It seems to be keeping the economy going, which, again, back in 2022, early 2023, he was like, if we go through a recession to stop inflation, it's going to be worth it. I don't think he sees the calculus being worth it at this point, whether it's because there's election season or because his job is on the line, a whole bunch of things. He doesn't want to be that guy. And if you guys remember, it was painful enough for him to say that, I think his words were, we should retire the word transitory, because he had to change the definition of what transitory meant. Which was hilarious. He didn't even admit he was wrong. He just admitted it in a very political way, which, you know, everybody in the bureaucracies or political sphere, they do it the same way. I'm not wrong. I just really meant this. All right. But again, as we go and check out other stuff, as I answer you guys' questions, at this time, I am still not bullish. I can see the roadmap for us to have a really big move going on into this weekend. And because of that, I'm still dollar cost averaging, and I'm just buying up stuff for the end of the cycle right now. That's what I'm really doing, and I don't care about what price I'm buying it at. Yesterday there was dips, the other day there was dips. Right now, of course, we're higher than where we were yesterday, but I'm still going to be buying more and more and more because I'm still optimistic about where we can go. Now, let's say that Bitcoin falls another $5,000 somehow miraculously today. I'm not going to be selling any of those longer term holdings. That's not my goal right now. If you guys are doing any swing trades in it now, you guys' stop loss would probably just be back way down here around $60,000 or $61,000. That's a pretty heavy stop loss. So if you guys are hoping that maybe we start to have something more of a higher low situation, if Bitcoin does start coming back down here towards $64,000, $63,000, and you guys want to be aggressive swing traders without the momentum on your side, you can try to buy around that time. Maybe Bitcoin has to breathe a little bit more. We'll wait and see. Bulls should try to play something here fairly soon if they still have enough volume here, but it might not happen until sometime early tomorrow morning once the market opens up and the ETFs really start to go flooding into the system. If you guys go over here to ARK Invest, or Arkham, excuse me. There we go. Oh, I hate that you guys can't see it because I got just so much stuff on my screen. Oh, my back feels horrible too. I'm scrunching over these days on the computer too much. You'll see that BlackRock sold thousands of Bitcoin today. Even with Bitcoin going sky high, they still sold a lot of Bitcoin. And that's okay. That's okay. Fidelity over here, they bought up a little bit of Bitcoin today, just about 612. BlackRock. Honestly, I don't No, I don't think they bought any Bitcoin today. I see a bunch of stuff, but it's not Bitcoin. It's all the publicity tokens that we talked about earlier. So not much as far as Bitcoin's concerned here. And then ARK Invest, they haven't bought anything in 2 days. And finally, we'll look at Bitwise. Actually, we'll look at one more besides Bitwise. They did buy 2,000. No, that's Uni. They sold a little bit of Bitcoin today. And what was the other one? Invesco. No, Vinek, because they're the ones that placed their fees at 0. And they ended up buying 113 Bitcoin. So their inflow is actually going up quite a bit here because they reduced their fees to 0. So that's nice to see. Alrighty though. So you guys know my thoughts now. I'm gonna keep this same style up for a while of trading. So let me know if you guys have any questions on it. I will be probably doing more tutorials on it as well. And for the next few minutes, I would anticipate that Bitcoin tries to come back down a little bit to try and make some semblance of higher lows going forward for the rest of the night here. All right. So I think you have buying opportunities later, probably not now as a whole. There might be some things that are going up higher right now. For example, Jasmine's up a little bit, Floki's up a little bit, Loom is up a tiny bit, and that's about it. Everything else is kind of unch. So basically, just wait and see what happens over the next hour or so. You might even find a floor here if you're lucky, because of support, you know. But you know, go over here to the hourly chart. Looks like the hourly is starting to turn over a little bit more. Not to come back down crashing. That would take a lot of force in a hurry. But just to try to make higher lows at this point. When we do make that low area of the next higher low, that's where you might get more concerned. You'd be like, oh, do I really want to buy here, etc., etc. You know, not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of you guys have just been itching for day trades every single day here. So who am I to stop you guys from trading? I just tell you guys like my strategies and whatnot. All right, so hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Laura Scratcher, SEC trying to see Ethereum in the news. Yeah, well, remember, the SEC does not want Ethereum to have an ETF. They fought tooth and nail to stop Bitcoin from getting the ETF. Eventually, they had to go to court, and the judge was like, hey, you guys are not acting in good faith. You guys have to stop this now, or, you know, there will be penalties for this. And in which case, eventually, remember, Gary Gensler switched his vote from the Democratic side to the Republican side, and the Bitcoin ETF was pushed through. And then, of course, we saw Bitcoin go sky high over the past few weeks. Same type of thing is happening right now. You're seeing a lot of lawsuits, a lot of back and forth between Ethereum and the SEC, Gary Gensler. And in fact, I believe... Oh, I meant to click news here. And let's go to the most recent this week. Let's see. Judges, crypto. There you go. Judge slams SEC for gross abuse of power in crypto case and poses sanctions. This was March 18th. This was 2 days ago. The SEC doesn't care if they get in trouble necessarily right now, as long as they slow this down, because they can't control it, because it's legal for the ETF to be there. Everything's legal. But this is kind of showing you the power of bureaucracies. This is why when we vote on elections, whether you guys vote Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Purple Party, whoever you guys vote for, it does matter, because these people do put down these people, these bureaucrats in office, and they can use bureaucracies to kind of push their own agendas. Right now, we're having Joe Biden's president, sorry, I'm a little tired. Joe Biden's agenda being pushed through the SEC. Joe Biden obviously does not like cryptocurrencies at all. That's okay. He's kind of given this right up to Elizabeth Warren, who is very anti-crypto. And then there's another guy, Sherrod Brown of Ohio. Those two are really the spearhead of the anti-crypto gang, or the anti-Web3 gang, you name it. Anything in the Web3 space, cryptocurrencies, wallets, earn with high interest rates, stuff like that. They just don't like it in totality. That's fine. But right now, they are the people in power, so they're going to have the ability to do this. Luckily for us, we have 3 branches of government in this country, and while the executive branch, right, may not like us, and the legislative branch may be kind of paralyzed, you might say, at least we have the judicial branch still coming here and saying, okay, this is not what I want to see, this is not good, this is not legal, and then you get articles like this. Again, judge slams SEC for gross abuse of power in crypto case, imposes sanctions. Now, I can't read this because I'm not paying no dollar for a monthly trial here. You know, you can go over here to CoinDesk and read it for free. They're all AI articles these days, basically. But let's go down here. A federal judge ruled that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission must pay legal costs for DebtBox, a Utah-based cryptocurrency company the SEC brought a suit against, finding that the regulator had committed a gross abuse of power. The regulator. In efforts to secure a temporary restraining order, the SEC sued the crypto project last year, alleging fraud, securing a temporary asset freeze and restraining order against the company. According to the SEC, DebtBox was telling customers it was selling licenses to mine cryptocurrency, but in reality, it was just creating tokens with code. DebtBox filed to dissolve the temporary restraining order, claiming the SEC had misled the court and about the company moving its funds and closing its bank accounts. In an order Monday, Chief Judge Robert Shelby from the District of Utah wrote that the SEC's attorneys misled the court both in applying for a temporary restraining order as well as afterwards. When DebtBox filed to dissolve the order, noting at the end that the order is focused on the TRO question and not the underlying case. The SEC will be required to pay defendants and receivers fees as part of court sanctions. So they're getting paid. And again, this is our tax dollars getting paid. And as somebody that actually supports the SEC, I do support them. I don't support them going after cryptocurrency. I support them by when they go after bad actors, right? The Bernie Madoffs of the world, those type of people. That's who I want them to go after, not some crypto project in Utah that's helping people mine crypto, you know? So yeah, Lois Scripture, you're going to see things happening for a while here. This battle happening on and on. Hey, Jonathan, what do you call it? This election is going to matter a lot for cryptocurrency. I don't even care. Like, remember, I don't have much stake in it because, well, I have a stake in cryptocurrency, but remember, I'm not going to really be living here that much in 2025. I'm going to be down in Panama. You know, I just want crypto to do fine. The economy, I want the economy to do fine. I want inflation to come down. I want us to stop spending so much. That's all I want, because I want Bitcoin to thrive. Or when Bitcoin hits $1 million, I want to be able to buy something. Like, I want the value of $1 million to still mean something. It's like when you were younger, you know, and $100 was a lot. Like, you dreamed of, like, oh man, I just can't wait to have $100. That's just so much money. You can buy so much stuff for that. Nowadays, I have a $100 bill, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, $100 is the new $50 basically, because technically, my purchasing power since I was a kid has been cut like by over half. Low Roller Scratcher mentioned something about a Dogecoin ETF. There's not going to be a Dogecoin ETF anytime soon. There's not enough support for one at this point. There's really going to be a massive push for it. Oh, and hey, on time. Probably going to bleed out like always after the FOMC meeting. Oh, definitely. I'm still not bullish on Bitcoin just yet. I'm still waiting here. Straightway, Life says bullish cup and handle on the Bitcoin 1 hour chart forming right now. So that might be an opportunity for you guys. A little bit of an ugly cup, but still, we have the opportunity. And again, we're just trying to make that high or low before we go up another level. Typically, when I look at stuff like this, I'll try to measure it out, and then I just go from half. So that's 7,400, and then as long as we don't drop down about 3,500, yeah, about 3,500. As long as we don't drop back down below about 64,500, we're in good shape here. We're going to be in good shape. Probably let's go back to 5 minute. I really want to see what's happening here, because you know there's going to be some battles playing out with all this volatility that we've been seeing today. So many fun battles. Ethereum Gate talk is back. I think Warren wants regulations on crypto, but she doesn't necessarily not like it. No, Warren does not like crypto. The good thing about TikTok before it gets banned is that people can kind of go up and ask their constituents. Elizabeth Warren doesn't like it. She wants the whole thing gone basically because of the bad actors in the space. And I understand where she's coming from. I would say she's not as anti-crypto as Sherrod Brown. Sherrod Brown wants like a complete ban. Elizabeth Warren, I think she sees the Web3 space as an opportunity, but not so much the currency aspect of Bitcoin. She doesn't like how there's too many money launderers using it. That's pretty much her whole case about it. And again, she is, isn't she? Hold on. If my computer is not going to lag again. Yeah, she's on the Committee for Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, and the Committee of Finance, right? So those have a lot to do with the cryptocurrency markets and what's going on. I believe her preferred candidate is Gary Gensler for the next Treasury Secretary when Janet Yellen retires, which I think she'll do if Joe Biden does win re-election. Janet Yellen will retire, you know, go off, chill. She's earned a retirement, of course. Anybody that does public service at that age, you just like you go go retire. But yeah. Just like the banks. Oh yeah, there's corruption all around. It's not just cryptocurrency for sure. And hey, Cheek Peek, can look at PMPY. Very nice chart. AI blockchain, AI trading app coming out soon. Just partnered with Ellie Pal. Very bullish. Thanks. Yeah, I can definitely look at that for you, Cheek Peek. Thank you for the super chat as always. Ooh, very, very low market cap of 16 million here. What can you buy? Oh, come on, TradingView. There you go. Stop popping stuff down. You can buy it on BitGet, BingX, Mexi, Bitmart, and Xmarkets. You can't buy it many places just yet. How's the Twitter page looking? A little under 9,000 followers here. Looks like it's growing. And it looks like they have followers clicking on it every single day. So they got a pretty avid community, it looks like. Oh, and the burning today as well, which is always a fun sign. The website, how does it look? Does it look actually like somewhat good? Prodigy. Okay. Prodigy Flip mobile app. The Prodigy Flip crypto trading mobile app is set to revolutionize the way cryptocurrency traders invest in crypto. With its decentralized multi-chain exchange, traders will have access to a secure platform where their assets are fully protected with Prodigy Flip's DeFi wallet. Additionally, the app offers state-of-the-art AI analytical tools, enabling traders to make informed decisions. Oh, that'll be interesting here. And so maybe you can break it back. You can break it down by different sectors of the crypto community here. That might be interesting. Okay, let's go back over here though, while Bitcoin's falling down a little bit, and let's go look at the PMPY. Looks like it's on BitGet chart. Okay. So it's definitely pretty new. It still looks fairly good to me. I know it looks kind of clunky and you can tell there's some big buyers and some big sellers. Typically in this environment, all you're looking to do, because it has been moving up gradually, is you just want to buy and hold, because each of these moves is pretty drastic. You're probably not going to find a place to trade futures on this, of course, because of the way the volatility is. I mean, look at this drop right here. From one day to the next, it fell down 45%. So all you're really going to be doing is just holding at this point. And you can see when people are loading up on positions right here. They're loading up right there, loading up right here. Some guy that probably bought up a lot over here, he finally sold. And going to be much more of a longer term grind if you ask me, but definitely with dollar cost averaging, especially since they have news coming out fairly soon. That's usually going to be a pretty good catalyst for you. It's up to you though how long you want to hold on to it. For me, I typically would hold on to that just for another few months to see where it goes. I wouldn't necessarily hold on to it for maybe like a week or so, unless you wanted to buy and then you wanted to have a random a random price target or something. So if it wicks up a lot in a short period of time, it'll just sell there automatically. But again, it depends on the exchange and whether or not they allow you to have price targets when you don't have access to the trading on the futures accounts. Warren is a baby eating lizard. She lies about everything she says and does. I wouldn't go that far. I think I just have a disagreement with her on her policies. I don't pay attention to Warren all too much because, like, honestly, I'm in Washington State. I'm more the whole of the country than DC, and I think she's the person from Massachusetts, I believe. Yeah, I don't think she's necessarily evil. I just don't like her policies as far as how she tries to regulate crypto. I think it'd be better served going after banks, which I think is her true passion. I think from her perspective, she probably thinks that because crypto is so unregulated, that it's easier for lower income people to probably be scammed and abused inside this kind of world that we're currently in. And she has a point, but her regulations to me are probably a little bit too strict, and I think that's just where the majority of the disagreements come from. But I can, some people just hate her guts, and yeah, fine. But for me, it is more of a policy disagreement. Hey, Jonathan. In my mind, Bitcoin held above 60K, which could trigger bad things in people's minds. Yeah, it very well could. I mean, the good thing is right now, instead of being at $60,000, now all of a sudden we're at 66,000. I know we were at like 68,000 just a couple hours ago, and people are probably freaking out now about this drop, because I guarantee, even though I was telling people earlier, like, I'm not swing trading, I'm just dollar cost averaging, I bet eventually you're going to see somebody saying, I bought a whole bunch right here and it's going down, should I sell or something? But again, everybody has their own trading strategies. As long as you actually know. I hope that everybody has their own strategy they use. You can copy mine or whatever, I don't care. But I hope that there are strategies that people are using, and I hope they're just not buying because the market went up. That's always the worst thing, because typically after the market goes up a lot, we do have these cool down periods, and then we might not even go down that far during this drop, but people might sell on the drop, and then of course Bitcoin may continue to go higher into tomorrow. I'd probably say I'm looking for a larger move to accumulate probably sometime Friday or Saturday. But until then, it's nice to wait and see if there's any more opportunities to load up on these altcoins here. Bitcoin, I'm buying a little bit, Ethereum a little bit, Solana just a tad, XRP not at all. But a lot of altcoins, they took some really juicy dips over the last few days. I definitely had to buy some up. Bitcoin coming down in Ethereum in an hour, buying a lot of short. Dude, Bitcoin's already been coming down for what, the past 2-3 hours now. It's already come down how much? Around 2% or so, like $1,600. Is Bitcoin forming a cup and handle on the 4-hour? I would say the 1 hour, like somebody just mentioned a few minutes ago, but you could probably draw that distinction there as well. If you want to believe that we are in a cup and handle, typically the handle cannot break down more than half the distance between the low and the high. So we don't want to see Bitcoin drop down half that distance. So that would mean $7,500 about. What's half of 7,500? That'd be 37,250. So 37,250. We don't necessarily want to be breaking back down below. Yeah, what I said before, 64,800, 64,500. We don't want to be breaking down below those levels. If we were to break down below those levels, it doesn't mean we're necessarily coming back down and crashing all of a sudden. It basically means we have to come back down to the more base support level here, where we're looking for a larger move up. And then of course, since we've already broken out of this one, we can get rid of it. And instead, we're looking for that next pattern. That next pattern right now, oosh, I don't even know what you might want to call that. It could be something like an ascending triangle, but I don't know if I like the look of this one here, to be honest. I would just wait for those higher lows to accumulate and wait to see what happens next. I'm not going to get too concerned about Bitcoin coming all the way back down here, literally until we start breaking back down below 62,000, this level of support here. That's when I might get a little more concerned, like, uh-oh, we're really coming down here pretty hard. Afterwards, we can come down here, we can kind of bounce around a little bit. We're going to be in a, what would I call it, a moving average cluster pretty soon. So the 15, the 200 is right here. That's going to be a larger level of support, just like it was a little bit of a breakout zone right there. Let me put my head back up here so we can actually see what's going on. There we go. The 1 hour chart, we just talked about this. A lot of moving averages down there. 2 hour moving averages all converging. 4 hour. Give it a little bit more time. We only have the 20 here. The 50, I guess, is a little bit closer. But we do have a lot of moving averages there. And the 20, we're already kind of flipping around it at this point in time. Not the biggest thing, but it's still there at this point in time. So you could expect a lot of volatility here, a lot. If whales got serious, they could push us all the way back down here to $62,000 today. After that bullish talk, though, I don't think it's necessarily likely. I'd be surprised. But again, I'll be less surprised once we start breaking down below these support levels here. There we go. And hopefully it's not, hopefully it's a cool drop and not something that's going to be happening very, very quickly. Anyhow, Ahmed, thank you very much for the super chat. Success Kid meme on Solana. A lot of Solana meme tokens these days. And skid, like a skid mark. There we go. It's up 13% today. A market cap of only 16 million. So this is a very tiny one here. How's the Twitter community on this? Or X community? 2,000 followers. Oh, definitely going to be a very small group of people here so far. They have people pumping it up a lot right now, whether it's bots or not. There is activity on their page, and of course, if you go over here to the website, I'm guessing there's going to be some type of meme token part. Yeah, look at that. Is that? Oh, you guys can't see, but I think this is Elon in the top right-hand corner over here. That has to be Elon, and then they got the baby over, CB over here. 0% tax, liquidity burned, authority revoked, liquidity pool, marketing, dev team, how to buy. I don't know who these people are, but they got a billboard already, or maybe it was a digitally added billboard. I'm not entirely sure. And the family. So they got Success Kid, Success Elon, Success Pepe, and Success CZ. Except for CZ, you can't see him because he's locked away in jail. Okay. So it seems like it's a full meme coin through and through. As far as the technical analysis is concerned, let's add it up here, and I guess it should be on a few exchanges. Oh, no, it is not. Okay, so it's not even on exchanges yet, so... Yeah, I can see it's not even on TradingView up here. There's no TradingView option. Monthly chart. It's had a little bit of a peak here, so... Somebody's been loading up on it. Came back down. Looks like it popped back up a little bit more. So it's really volatile right now, so be very, very careful if you want to hop into it. It looks like it's being pushed right now by the powers that be that kind of own the token. So you might be able to ride it for a while. But you definitely don't want to hold on too long to something like this unless you really believe that like the Discord community, the Twitter community, like it's all real and you really want to, like, you know, hop on board. So high risk token, but very high reward because it is only a $16 million market cap right now. There you go. And Bitcoin bouncing off the 200 here on the 15 moving average. So, all right. Not sure if anyone here is from the old days, but I remember $5,000 in the chat. Oh, 5,000 in the chat. Oh yeah, those were crazy days with Dogecoin. Really, really crazy days. Let's see. And hey, Liver, you removed the new support. Do you mean the trend line? I can add it back up for you if you want to. We're going for this peak over here. This one over here. If you're talking about that, yeah, we can definitely come back down here and bounce for sure. Goddamn. I love Padron cigars. I'm about to go buy a few boxes of Padrones this week, and I'm about to go buy a few boxes of Arturo Fuente Grand Reserve Extra Viejo. Oh my god, those things are dark as coals, but they just have such a good kick to them. Alrighty, now that we're watching this play out a little bit more, still a little bit more bearish on the 1 hour charts and so forth, but again, let it see if I can find some support. There is an opportunity for us to go higher here today. It's just going to take some 5-10 hours or something like that. Hey, do I want to know? My man is chilling, taking puffs while the market bleeds. Okay, you guys have to remember, just a few, like yesterday, We were down at $61,000 on the verge of going back down, so it's $58,000. And all of a sudden, Jerome Powell comes out, opens up a box of doves for the world to see, and he's like, hey, forget about inflation, guys. We don't care about inflation. We just want the economy to boom. We want the stock market to go up. That's all we really want. When Jerome Powell says something like that, again, not in the same words, but you get the point. When he says something like that, you know the market's going to turn risk on for a while and just ignore everything else. But yeah, a cigar keeps me good. I'm trying on purpose, as I told you guys a few weeks ago, I'm trying to slow down my speaking. That way I'm not so freaking pizzazzed out of my mind, because I do have severe ADHD. And by acting more calm, thinking a little bit more before I speak, not really thinking before I speak, but you know, it seems to be doing okay. There's no reason to stress about this. And plus, remember, I was dollar cost averaging all this last week. Even if we fell down to 50,000 or 40,000, whatever it may be, I was still going to be happy. And because of this large move came out of nowhere, all the technicals have to readjust. Remember, even if it's a news market event, everything has to readjust to it. And even if, let's go here to maybe X. Ooh, this is from Zach XBT. I am pleased to share that Poker Brat 2019, aka Robert Rubb, was arrested earlier today in Las Vegas, according to Henderson police records. In December 2023, I made a post detailing how he stole $1.2 million from 11 individuals and exposed his prior criminal history of fraud. Since then, I have been working with the victims to give them justice. While we cannot know for sure until court documents are released, I doubt there would be any other reason for the arrest. So that's really good news right there. I like how you can go into the system and just look at people's names. Age 46, 320 booked. Yep. Wow. Robert Wesley Robb. I can't even pronounce my W's and R's, but goated Zach. Very much so. Let's retweet this. Yeah, that's good. All right. Besides that, Bitcoin. You know, this one hasn't reset. This is the last 24 hours. Bitcoin's up $5,000 in the last 24 hours. That's probably a better way of looking at the market. There we go. Bitcoin is going higher low as expected. And yeah, you can see same type of thoughts I have there. Only psychopaths would see a photo and think about Bitcoin. Forever 21. I would not think about Bitcoin in this picture. What do you guys see when you look at this? Deals $7 and up. I think this is pre-inflation prices. Pre-inflation prices. I haven't been to a mall in some times. I literally just go there for what do you call sunglasses from the sunglasses hut. Anything else here? Meme tokens. Polkadot. The FIS system is so effing rigged. Maybe fiat system, I would think he's trying to say here. Okay. There we are. Hey, do you want to know? Give me something against the USD, and that's a lot easier to look at on TradingView. Mike, I'm watching some new people freak out right now on other YouTube niche channels. Like I said, some of us are still being bag holders from the last run. Oh yeah, I mean that'll probably blow their mind a little bit. I don't know. We've just been here for so long, you know. I mean, for me at least, I've just kind of gotten used to all these moves. You kind of get numb to it, or you get excited. Volatility for me is an exciting thing to witness because it opens up opportunities for day trades and whatnot. Should I hold my 5K Gari bag? I'm up 1K from the dip. What was your plan when you bought it? Typically, if you have a stop loss and it hasn't hit, typically you're probably going to wait on it until your stop loss hits or your price target hits, whatever one usually comes first. If you feel like it's just not going your way, but you're not close to the stop loss and you're kind of off the bottom, so you just want to minimize those losses, you can definitely sell there for sure. Fast fashion competing with Shein and Temu, crap waste. I don't know, like I guess I have a little bit. I don't necessarily have like the higher quality Gucci clothes. I think I have your typical middle class clothes. This shirt costs $50, and it's only because it has nice little patterns on it, right? That's about as far as I'm willing to go on pants stuff like that. I think I got some pants coming in the mail pretty soon. They're going to cost me about, so they cost me about $100. That's as far as I'll go for pants. Besides that, nah, I don't really care too much. I don't even usually wear pants all too much. I'm a big shorts guy, especially since the summer's coming up pretty soon. Walk and enjoy myself. And hey, G Money, only 21 million Bitcoin. Oh, Alex said it right there as well. Same to GOAT, did a little up emoji or up sign. Yeah, I mean, I guess another reason I'm not too freaked out right now is if you go over here to Coinbase, or excuse me, coinmarketcap.com. See that right there? 30 days, 4 hours, 31 minutes, and 30 seconds into the Bitcoin halving, and we're good to go. Each block is taking about 9.95 minutes. And there's about 4,300 blocks left. 4,371 to be exact. Oh, and here's this one article that you guys might have wanted to hear. The SEC is attempting to classify Ethereum as a security. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has reportedly issued several subpoenas to companies related to its attempts to label Ethereum as a security. According to a March 2014 report, an investigation by the SEC into the Ethereum Foundation could give the commission regulatory coverage to define Ether as a security. The foundation suggested via GitHub that it may be under investigation from a state authority. Again, this will all go to court. Most likely the judge will smack it down in a heartbeat because they see that they have a really bad record with this, and there might be some appeals and so forth. But ultimately, Ethereum should have its own ETF coming out fairly soon. And again, by fairly soon, I mean sometime towards the middle of summer, kind of close to the beginning of fall. Sometime kind of an August, September timeframe here is what I'm probably guessing. Unless this thing really gets out of hand and these lawsuits really do take a long period of time. I doubt it's going to take forever, though. We have a lot of judges right now. I know we have the election coming up, but I don't think it's going to matter all too much. Anyway, Shikpeak, happy to help you out, man, and I appreciate the super chat a lot as well. Yeah, especially if it burns and people are excited about the burning, you know that pumps the price quite a bit. Forever 21 Bitcoin. If you're shopping at Forever 21, I don't know if you can afford 21 Bitcoin, but maybe if you're shopping there, it looks like it's $7 for clothes. It's really, really cheap. Maybe you can't afford a Bitcoin. Maybe you can afford more Bitcoin. Anyway, Solitude. Oh, I was ecstatic about today. I mean, the market going up, that was a secondary thing I was excited about. The fact that Jerome Powell was so dovish. He did not need to be this dovish today. He pretty much gave the full steam ahead for the market to go higher, and he basically said there's no more need for rate hikes. Now, he may have to reverse that in the future if things really get out of hand, but for now, he's given the market enough confidence at least until the next CPI date, which is in April. So I think I put it on, not this one, probably this one. Yeah, so we got two things happening. This first line right here, that's the next CPI date. That's the next inflation announcement. Following this over here on the April 19th, that is the approximate date of the Bitcoin halving. So as long as the inflation is good, we should see Bitcoin go much higher after that. And then of course, going into the halving much, much higher. There is one more piece of data here that I always forget. There's the CPI, and then there's also the PPI. I believe that comes out the Friday. Let me double check here. Like a producer price or index. And that's coming out April 11th. Oh, so that's coming out the day afterwards, so I don't need to put another line there. But those 2 days are going to be very, very, very volatile. That's all you guys have to know as far as the next big day that can kick our butts. That'll be it. Now, back on March 14th, we did have bad inflation coming out as well. And if I can put out March 14th for you guys, that was right over... what do you know? Huh. What do you know? Huh. You know? So, again, inflation isn't going to be the best thing for us at that point in time. And back over to the 5. So, if we have good inflation, should be good. Do they have the, let's see. I wonder if they have the the estimates out so far. Let me go over to trading economics. Oh, I should go CPI, trading economics. Yeah, there you go. No. I need, oh, okay, fine. CPI, trading economics. We want inflation rate. There we are. So the TE forecast, trading economics forecast for March right now is going to be 3.1%. We'll figure out what the consensus is closer to that. So at the end of the day, it's probably going to be sideways. So as long as we're just still kind of ticking sideways, the market should accept that for a reason to go higher. If we are maybe a little bit hotter, that's where things get a little bit more risky. Like right here, the trading economics forecast, it doesn't matter all too much, except for them saying, hey, we were right. We were right. They kind of point to like, hey, we were right. However, the consensus for all the Wall Street guys was 3.1%. It came out as 3.2%. That wasn't good. Plus you saw some trends that reaccelerate and within the actual report. That's not good. That's what caused some of the Bitcoin drop that we had over the last few days. Which is why I typically talk about all this shit when other influencers don't like to talk about it. The boring stuff matters. As I say, trading can be very boring sometimes. Doing the research can be very boring. But what is not boring is making money and spending that money on stuff you want. Now, I'm not the type of guy that wants to buy a Lambo or something, but I do want to go on my vacations. That's typically what I want to do. Or, oh, hey, Financial Common. Appreciate the super chat of $5. I really do appreciate it. Ordered a box of Olivia Epic Collection Sampler. Want to get into the hobby more, learning from you. Thanks. Are Olivia cigars good for starters? Yes. So what I like about Olivia cigars is people may say they're cheaper or, you know, they're not the high-end cigars. No, you don't want to start off with those higher-end cigars because they're really more of an acquired taste, and eventually you kind of figure out where you want to go. You don't want to just spend $50 over here, $30 over there, and it's like, oh, I don't like that one. You waste money so fast. So when you get an Olivia sampler, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you like in there and a lot of stuff you don't, and it's cheaper, but the structure of the cigar is usually really, really good. So, you know, when you cut open the top of the cigar, you know, and you slide it up and start smoking, it should have a pretty smooth draw. It's not going to be too, how would you say, too hard to breathe in the smoke. You're not putting it into your lungs, but, you know, just too hard to take it, inhale it, or draw it, as it's called. So they're really, really good cigars. My favorite right now is the Olivia Black Swan out of the Olivia series ones. And then, of course, the Olivia O's are just a timeless classic. So, like, if you ever want to introduce your friend to a cigar, the Olivia O is usually really good. If they're saying, ooh, I really want to try something special, you know, I give them Olivia Black Swan. Because typically, when you start to get your own supply of quality cigars, I got $50 cigars, I got $30 cigars. I don't even want to waste a $30 cigar on a friend if I know he's not going to smoke the entire thing. If I know he's going to smoke the entire thing, I will. But the last time I think I gave a friend a cigar to smoke, well, no, it was just 2 days ago. It was just yesterday, actually. But again, we trade cigars all the time and we have fun with it. But yeah, Olivia cigars are some of my favorite. They're just, it's just great structure. And then once you figure out what Olivia cigars you like, then you can go out and you can start finding which, how do I say? You can start finding which way your palate leans, and you can see if you like more of the Connecticut style, the lighter flavors, which I don't like, or if you like more of the darker flavors like the Padrones or the Extra Viejos and things of that nature. Because I like to have a good nicotine kick when I am smoking a cigar. It calms me down a little bit, especially something like this, which is a little bit darker. But this Padron cigar, it's not expensive, but it's definitely not cheap. A cheap cigar can run you maybe about, how much? It could be as low as like $5 in some instances. You know, I had a friend yesterday who was smoking $3 cigars, and we were joking with him about it. But like, he smoked a quarter of the cigars. Like, I don't like this one. Ooh, let's try another one. Ooh, I like this one. He'll smoke it all the way through, etc. Like right now, I'm smoking the 1964. The one thing I would say is you do want to put together a humidor for yourself. It can just be a tote, like a tote from that's seal proof. They can seal. A couple Boveda packs, a couple cedar trays, and then just have a Govee humidifier thing that tells you the temperature and the humidity in there. keep it at 65 or whatever level you at. I'm a 65 guy because I got Cubans in there, but you can also go with 70 or 68%. Getting above 70 might be a little bit more for me, but this is what I'm smoking right here. If it loads, there we go, right there. Right, nice, small, petite, medium to full bodied, so it's not light on the flavor. And you know, this one, I don't recall what size this is though. 69. Maduro, or Bellicoso. Could be the Bellicoso. Well, you know, like 17 bucks or something. But they're Padrones, a little bit more pricey. But definitely worth it because the Padrones are just great flavors. And no worries, Financial. I appreciate it a lot. AJ Fernandez, Bela Arte is my jam. There are so many good ones out there these days. How do you inhale a cigar? First time I tried choking and it started dying. Oh, what do you call here? I'm almost done with this cigar. I have like only one more left down here, but came over as soon as he heard. Yeah, good boy. So you're not putting it into your lungs. It's in your mouth. You taste it and you blow it out. If you try to breathe into this, you're just gonna die. It's not gonna be good. So you just, you know, and you just let the smoke kind of go in there for a little bit. If you're really good and talented, you can retrohale, which means you're blowing the smoke out of your nose. I typically don't like that because my allergies start to act up and my nose starts to shut, so I don't do it all too much. Have I ever tried pipe tobacco? I have yet to try pipe tobacco, but I want to. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Be careful about holding the cigar close to you because it does give off a little bit of smoke. And if you're not smart like me, you'll just inhale that smoke, and you don't want to do that either. I just need to be able to buy myself a pipe and some tobacco, but like I don't know if I actually want to invest in a pipe and tobacco because I know I probably won't smoke a pipe as much as I would just regular tobacco. So I might have to borrow tobacco from a friend just for one time pipe, and I just might buy a pipe and try it a couple times to see if I like it or not. Oh, see? And this one right here. Gotta relight it, but also gotta take off these damn bands. There you go. Robusto smokers is probably Bellicoso. I need to learn more about these styles. The one thing I've learned that is I haven't been able to buy many boxes because typically a lot of the stuff I buy, well, it's not even me buying it, it's just I get a lot of stuff from friends. Anytime I give crypto advice to friends, I get a nice cigar out of it. Although, I guess I do buy, yeah, I got one box for now. It's that box of Cubans. It's that box of Royal Robustos from Upman. There we go. Ooh, my friends at the lounges, they're so much more knowledgeable than me, so when they're talking about cigars and all this stuff, they're talking about the specific name of the guy that, like, did the filler or the formula for the cigar, and I'm just like, cool guys. Like I'm gonna try to learn this stuff as much as you guys, but they have a lot of connections. There's a cigar event actually happening in Las Vegas this weekend, and one of my friends is going to it. It's where all the industry people go into because one of my friends, he's going to be opening up a cigar, not a lounge, but a cigar shop in Woodinville, Washington, at some really nice winery and distillery complex, which would be really cool. So like imagine a 5-star hotel, a bunch of wineries and distilleries, and that has a whole bunch of weddings there. So the people at the wedding can get a whole bunch of whiskey, bourbon, whatever, freshly made, or you know, in the barrels, whatever. And then from there they can get a lot of wine for the women and whatnot. And then boom, you add cigars to the mix and you're having a really good wedding. starting a fire, smoking a pipe sounds cool. That I can imagine that while I'm out and about camping and stuff. For me, typically, I love cigars because it's really good with fishing, so I can hold it in my mouth. I can go fly fishing, whatnot, and I'm not gonna lose it. A pipe tobacco, I would drop it so much. You don't know how many times I curse, and I don't want to drop my pipe into the mud, the muck when I'm fly fishing. But if a cigar, if I drop that, I'll pull another cigar and I'll be fine. One of my friends, I gave him a couple of my Royal Robustos, or a few of my Royal Robustos, and he's hooking me up with a new mobile thing to transport my cigars from now on. This one has been too small for me. It only holds 4, and the one I'm about to have is going to be able to hold like 50, so it's going to be a freaking tank. Is there any exchange where you can buy stocks with tokens? I'm guessing yes, if you convert the tokens USD. I haven't heard of many of them. There might be one. It might be alpaca. That might be the one right there. Wealth Simple here in Canada has crypto, but their fees are stupid high. 2% Kraken is solid fees if you trade often. Maker and Taker take about 0.16 and 0.016. Yeah, that's fine. I thought for a second I read 0.16. I was like, that's a little high, but 0.016. Yeah, that's fine. Get a corn cob pipe, Mike. That would look great on you. Oh God, I can imagine that type of stuff. The good thing about cigars though is when I go to Vegas, I do tend to be able to network a lot more efficiently. Because everybody wants to smoke a cigar, everybody wants to have a good time drinking some bourbon. There's a place called 8 Cigar Lounge in Resorts World, and on the weekends there, I think it's like Wednesday through Saturday or something like that. If you go over there throughout the evening time, you can grab a cigar, you can grab a glass of bourbon or something. Typically for me, I'm a big fan of flight, so I want to try a few different types of alcohols just to kind of see how they are. And then I can listen to somebody doing live singing. It's just a great atmosphere. There are times, you guys know I'm working all the time. I do YouTube stuff. I do my own trading stuff. I work with sponsors that are not even crypto exchanges. Like Opus Clip, I do stuff with them. So I'm usually doing other stuff out there. And this is kind of the weird world that I've been in because I also have I'm a former marketing director, I'm a marketing manager. I've done all this marketing stuff in the world. So I'm always doing a whole bunch of stuff. So when I get the chance to just enjoy the fruits of my labor, I take full advantage of that. Now in Vegas, that might be a little bit more expensive. So I may blow through money a little bit more, but luckily I've, come to the place where I can just be like, who cares? What are my plans for LA? There might be one event I can go down to LA. And I think it's closer to the summer. I got to double check when it was. I checked it yesterday. I'll have to look at it again. It's, I'll look at it later. But I think it's sometime in June or July I might be able to come down there. I think it'd be for VidCon, I think is the exact event that I'd be down there for. And I just have to ask Connor if I can go down there and join the event. I think he'd probably say yes because it's kind of a shorter flight. And the flight for me would be very cheap compared to somebody coming out from New York or the United Kingdom and stuff, because there's a few events I almost went to, but no, I didn't go to them, but I'm not going to them, but I think they were thinking about inviting me, but I think it's just like there's too many people that want to go, and I'm not like necessarily the full-on AI guy here in the group of everybody that works there. But I think they have an event in Amsterdam, and I think they have an event in England. So those events should be pretty crazy, but I think they're only going to have people from Europe go to those events, just like they're only right now having people from the USA go to the events in the USA. Is cannabis legal? Oh yeah, definitely here. I don't smoke cannabis all too often. It's not my favorite thing. I enjoyed it a lot more when I was in college, but I think nowadays cigar just hits me in the right spot. It allows me to think a lot more clearly while working. Well, as a cigar, weed is something more to just knock me out, make me go to sleep. Or if I'm really just camping out with some friends and want to have a good laugh, then I'll maybe pull out a joint. But I probably smoke 1 joint per quarter. I mean, that's how little weed I consume these days. Maybe every now and again I'll probably do more than that per quarter, but it's not all too much. Does Lux Algo work on mobile as for buy sell indicators? Yes, it does work on your phones and whatnot on different, like the TradingView app. I will say that sometimes it's a little bit more complicated if you want to have a whole bunch of indicators because everything looks very, very clustered. An easy way to kind of get around that is to try to make your numbers right here as small as possible. In order to do that, what you want to do is you want to go over here to settings and you want to go over here to canvas. And then from there, you see this text right here. You want to switch it from whatever number it's at and you want to make it down here towards 12 or 11. The only side issue with this is that when you do this, it changes it to 11 on your chart that you're looking at on your computer as well. So when you go back and restart it on your computer, everything is looking very, very tiny. So like, let's go to 11 or 12 right here. You see how tiny that is? It's gonna look great on your phone. But when you come back over to your TradingView account on your computer or your laptop or whatever, you're gonna see it look that small and be like, what the heck is going on? It doesn't look natural. So that may be something. Crazy dreams. When I come to LA sometime this summer, I'll give you guys at least a 2 weeks head up, and I'll tell you guys a place where we could probably meet. Because if it's at VidCon, I don't exactly know where VidCon is at, honestly, or where the event is being hosted. It'll be no, is it VidCon or it's like, okay, so I don't think it's VidCon. I think it's Vid Summit. No, this one's in Dallas. So it must be VidCon, right? Anaheim. Oh, so it's June 26th to 29th. So it'll be all the way over there. So surprise, surprise, the partial schedule. And I'm pretty sure this is for 2024. It doesn't have a 20. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right there, 2024. Yeah, so it'd be around that time. I'll let you guys know. I'll pay for it out of pocket if I have to. Usually they'll cover some of my costs as well to make it a little bit easier. Well, I guess it's not even hard to pay for it, but it's just more of like, hey, can I tag along? Because they would have to pay for my ticket to go to the event, basically. The right cigar can set you straight. Oh yeah, that's typically the way I think about it. It does take a while to get some good cigars though, but once we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'll probably toss out a few cigars for you guys to 5 people. We'll hold a little bit of a raffle using Nightbot or something, and probably I don't know how I would do it though, because I don't know if everybody would want a cigar. They can get $100 or a couple cigars basically, and then from there I give them 1 Cuban cigar and then 1 nice cigar, and each cigar would be different for each person. One might be Opus, one might be something else, and etc. A Padron, Family Reserve, or something like that. I have a feeling Satoshi was high on weed when he created Bitcoin. I mean, kinda, but I mean, like, when we look at data and stuff, and we look at how fast debt's going up, and how the world is kind of going into this weird place where we just keep on spending more and more and more, and we have all this free money flowing in the system where nobody's incentivized to save money, we're incentivized to spend it like crazy. And anytime a company really starts to fail, the Fed comes and saves their butt, like the banking sector and stuff like that. When that happens, you see something's terribly wrong. Eventually it's all going to come crashing down. So what can you do as a hedge? It probably all comes down to some psychedelic, like zooms into like, whoa, he realizes everything that's going to happen. He's like, okay, let's create Bitcoin. Can we come down to $64,000 and still technically in a new uptrend? Yeah, honestly, we could go into an uptrend as long as we don't break down below $62,000. It might not look pretty, but it can definitely happen here. But again, we're still not having any terrible fast downward moves. This over here, this wasn't even too bad. This over here wasn't too bad. We were able to breathe a little bit here. Breathe, and that's great for the overall market. If you guys don't know what I mean by breathing, it just means that we're not having a full-on capitulation type of event. It just means that, hey, when we don't fall off a cliff every time we break down, it means that there's still so many buyers there that the market's just going to eventually go back up. We just have to wait for that time to show itself in. It hasn't shown itself yet, but again, give it like 2 or 3 more days. Everything has changed because of Jerome Powell, which makes me happy. I bet it makes some of you guys happy, or it makes some of you guys irritated because you guys weren't able to dollar cost average over the last week or so. So, you know, but you still have time to dollar cost average right now, so that'll work out. Lock convention. Oh, lock convention. Yeah, it'll be fun to go down there. I haven't been to California in a hot minute. Inverse finance, I think, is good for a longer term hold. I know it has a little bit of a smaller market cap, but the social media community around it seems to be pretty good. I'm always high, but since trading, I smoke way less. LOL, I'm into this shit right now. Trading is its own high. It's definitely its own high here. Probably being held in LA live. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I gotta look more into it. All I've been looking at this stuff on is like spreadsheets, because that's how, you know, the company works. Tons of spreadsheets. So I'm trying to figure out what things I can make, who can watch Loki and stuff like that. And once I have all those ducks in a row, so to speak, then I just pull the trigger and I just start buying tickets up. Like literally, I've been telling you guys, I've been going to Vegas for like, what, the past 3 to 4 weeks now. I literally just got the message saying, hey, you finally got your hotel. Okay, so like things are grinding, because not because of me, but because I'm so ahead of schedule here. So yeah, like, hello Michael Whitman, we are confirming your stay at the Sahara, Las Vegas from April 13th to April 17th. To view your trip details online, follow the link. Okay, get helpful in-trip updates. So now I know. So now I know what's going on there. So I might even be able to visit some people in Vegas, actually, since I don't think the first couple days are going to be too busy for me. And hey, Judah man, oh yeah, you should already be positioned. Yeah, but again, not everybody wants to be in the Bitcoin right now. You know, it's just the way it is. That's why I literally put out those videos every day. Hey, I'm buying more. I'm buying the dip more. I'm not buying so much today, but I'm still buying. I'm not buying Bitcoin so much today, but I'm buying a lot of altcoins today, and so forth. There we are. If we are in a simulation, then maybe stock market and crypto data is all just predictable code that directs power to the simulation machine. To the simulation. I could buy into that. I could definitely buy into that. Deep thought. Mike, on a serious note, thank you for what you do. Very helpful. Oh, no worries, City Dreams. Dude, I love doing this stuff. One of the reasons, like, I love doing it, which is one of the reasons why I decided to stream throughout the whole bear market. Do you know how many people stopped streaming throughout the bear market? It was crazy. I bet there's tons of new influencers coming back into the market right now, though. The crypto bull run is an opportunity for so many people that want to become crypto streamers. It's the best time to try to go into the market and kind of try to get rapid growth. To me, though, I think grinding during the bear market also helps you out a little bit more, because people have an established view of you. So by the time everything starts to pump up, it's a lot easier to gain an audience. But you know, you guys see lots of people hopping into the crypto market right now, I'm sure. Like, I don't necessarily watch a whole bunch of other crypto channels besides maybe just a few out there. You know, like Crypto Lifer and stuff like that. And I kind of like tidbit every now and again, see what other people are talking about. But how would I say? I don't think I see too many new streamers out there right now. I'm not looking for new streamers, I should say that, because I know they're there. But I know there's streamers right now. It's what? It's 11 o'clock my time. There has to be people out there. Bitcoin live. Whew. There's me. If I go over here to the live setting, there's Bitcoin live. There's Swan. Okay, I'm trying to figure out who's talking. Oh, there isn't many people talking right now, actually. I don't know. I like to grind. There's not many people live right now. Yeah, that's I mean, I'm going so far down that I'm getting to gold, right? Gold, euro versus the USD. Who else? Here we go. Here's one guy. Wealth Secret. Looks like he's from India. But he's not Nifty options. So he's not doing the, what do you call, not doing cryptocurrency. Illustrators. Oh, so it's people live trading in India. Oh, that's interesting right there. So a lot of day traders out there in India right now. That seems what it is. Okay, there we go. Any financial comments? Yeah, guys, please, if you can, please make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. I appreciate it a lot. It's kind of nice that Bitcoin's been bouncing back off here. The fact that I still even upload oh, you mean bear market? Yeah, yeah. Well, the bear market's the time where you guys are buying. Okay, the only thing I don't like about bear market is my message is pretty much the same at the exact time. It's like, hey, we're buying right now, so when Bitcoin's going sky high later on and we're breaking all-time highs, we don't have to necessarily we don't have to worry about as much stuff, right? That's the whole reason we buy during the bear market. And again, for those people that survive this bull market, survive the next bear market, they're going to be looking at some good profits. And you don't necessarily have to make life-changing money, but my God, right now everything's so expensive that just paying off your credit card using cryptocurrency, paying off your credit cards, it'll boost your score up maybe like 100 points or something if you have a lot of credit card debt because of all the inflation, paying that shit down, that gets you in better economic shape. It helps you when since rates aren't, they're kind of all over the place right now, helps you out. The Fed doesn't save butts; it's feeding us to the problem. Oh yeah, but that's why we're in the system to make a profit. Remember, the Fed right now says, hey, we want to keep the market going higher and higher and higher. So you have to have the ability to be in there. You remember? I'll tell you a story. Do you guys remember what happened in the 2008 financial crisis? All the way back over here. Now, I was only like 13 years old at the time, so I wasn't too involved in this, but I was very into watching the news at the time. Because at this time in my life, I wanted to be a political scientist to kind of understand what was going on, and I wanted to run my own pollster agency. A weird thing for a middle schooler or a high schooler, whatever I was. I was a freshman in college, a freshman in high school, something like that. But nonetheless, if you guys remember what's happening over here, there was a lot of anger because basically what happened was the system was collapsing because of all these over leveraged positions in this case, the mortgage markets, the housing markets. And so when the Fed started to pump a lot of money in here, guess who owns stocks? Who owns a lot of stocks? They're very, very wealthy. So these guys are making a lot of money as the stock market went up higher and higher and higher. And then all of a sudden, people at the lower part of the economic spectrum that don't have a lot of stocks, don't have a lot of money in 401ks, they were being left behind. I think you guys would probably recall something on Wall Street, March on Wall Street, Camp on Wall Street, something like that, where everybody was really, really pissed off at Wall Street because the government gave them a whole bunch of money, and instead of investing it to grow their businesses, create more jobs, loan the money out to different people, instead of doing all that type of stuff, instead of what they did is they basically just bought assets because, again, the Fed said we're going to buy a whole bunch of assets, quantitative easing, we're going to buy. Well, if the Fed is telling you they're going to buy all this shit up, why don't you buy what they're buying and just let them prop up the price and then you can sell it down the road? That's what the banks and stuff were doing. They were there to make money. That's all they do. However, back around this time, you guys would recall, when everybody saw this happening, we started to have the Robinhood come out with zero commissions. They were selling the order flow. They still are selling the order flow. And people were like, well, in order to get into the system, in order to make money, the Fed's not helping me out. They're helping the rich. So I have to be like the rich and I have to invest in the market. I think this is where you started to see a resurgence of Kiyosaki, where like make your money work for you and stuff like that. So you had to be invested in order to make any net gain in your wealth. Unless you guys had a really good job. And of course, if you have a really good job, you're already investing in the stock market and so forth. So, we're still in that mode right now where the Fed isn't going to do much. Over here during COVID, yeah. I mean, that was a crash for sure. And again, they pumped up more. And I mean, how many of you guys were doing very, very great in 2020 with no job? Even if the government was paying some of your bills, you still probably weren't thriving, then boom. Or over here, back in 2018, this is when the Fed started to stop quantitative easing. Like, oh, dude, this is getting really bad. We got to stop spending so much money. The market crashed within, 3 months? 3 months it came down 20%. Not good. And the market threw a tissy fit. So since then, the Fed's been like, fine, we're going to save the market and only pay attention to the market. I thought they may switch up over here, right? I thought they were legitimately going to switch up and say, hey, the market is one thing, but we have to be able to stop inflation from going higher, and we have to get inflation back down to 2% ASAP. Well, he stopped, right? He stopped. In December, he was like, okay, no more rate hikes and stuff like that. We're just going to be fine from here on out. And then boom, the market was like, okay, we're getting ready for all that separate stuff, and AI came in involved, yada, 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 in the story. But I wasn't sure of this rally here for quite a bit of time, if you guys recall, because I really thought, I was listening to him saying, okay, like he was basically saying, if it's between the economy and inflation, inflation is our main priority. It's obviously not the main priority now. But history has taught us that if you guys want to make any money, you guys have to be in the market. You guys can't rely on just a job anymore. A job doesn't cut it. You have to have something else. Now, there are people that have really good jobs, don't get me wrong. They don't have to necessarily worry about being in the market and so forth. But even if you guys work at Microsoft or something, a lot of your net worth is still tied up in your options that you have that you can execute, and then you can get shares in the company. And you want to sell those shares down the road and move to something else, sure. But you guys, you still, everybody's in the market, right? You have to be in the market. If you're not in the market, you kind of feel very left behind. And in those cases, I guess it usually turns into political will, where people just get angry, like Trump. That's how you get people like Trump in office, because the system is broken. Money isn't being the system isn't designed to help out the average Joe, and even when they do try to do it, they mess it up in a way that causes inflation. Remember, we had those stimulus checks for quite a few times during COVID. Sure, there was one right after the election that seemed to be the last that kind of broke something. Then inflation started to go a lot higher. Oh, let me listen here. This one's kind of dying off on me right here. Don't want to burn my eyelashes off here. There we go. All right. Occupy Wall Street. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I totally forgot what it was called. Because remember, I was so young at the time. I was looking on the news, seeing all these people camping out, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? It's actually how Peter Schiff, the guy that hates Bitcoin so much, it's how he became very popular. Even though he says like Bitcoin, gold is the best thing to be investing in. If you had the opportunity to buy gold or Bitcoin in 2011, knowing what you guys know right now, obviously you guys would all choose Bitcoin. In fact, I think even Peter would probably still choose Bitcoin. He might deny it, but he would choose Bitcoin. We're still kicking the can forward to this day. I mean, we really are. And you know what? That's okay. We can't stop that. As individual citizens of whatever government you guys live in, whether it's United States, Canada, Europe, like UK, France, Spain, Brazil, for heaven's sakes, it doesn't matter. We don't really have much control over all this stuff because usually the system pretty much kind of protects itself in the way that it protects itself, basically. But you can tag along for the ride. You can tag along for the ride. That's all you have to do. And that's all I ever want to do. Like I said, I'm not trying to become some billionaire or something. I just want enough money to do whatever I want. That's literally all I want. And it seems like it's crazy, but no. In order to speed up that process, I'm moving to freaking Panama. And I could live pretty well in America, but I could live like royalty in Panama. That's the type of stuff that I'm like, I can adjust, I can move, I can have a few dogs. I want to have a family, but I don't want to have to worry about money with a family. Like I might want to have like 10 kids or something, right? And keep the Whitman family line going strong or something. And it's a lot easier to have a family down in Panama where I can afford to have 10 kids plus like 2 nannies and one wife kind of managing everything while I'm working my butt off. But the wife wouldn't have to work, the kids can go to international schools, etc. And I'd be perfectly happy with that. But in America, I went to private school growing up on a scholarship from like the 7th grade up to the 12th grade. On scholarship, I did not have money growing up, as you guys know. But, it was like $25,000 to $30,000 a year if I didn't have a scholarship. And that's not even including food and taking the bus. The bus was like $4,000 a year, and food was like a few $1,000s a year. there are people that can afford it, but it's usually the doctors and so forth. Bitcoin gains, yeah, they're definitely compound. Toxic home loans, oh yeah, they're still toxic. What have I missed? We will do one last dump. We're going to go through a process of trying to make a higher low, yeah. So we might be able to come back down a little bit more, but I don't think we're going to be coming back down unless something bad happens below 65,500, I think is the number we were talking about. Or 64,500, what is it? Yeah, we don't want to come back down below 64,500. Right now, we're trying to make a cup and handle right now. Even if that handle doesn't work, you can see this cup right here and a kind of a handle poking out. We're trying to just zoom up right now if possible. We kind of like, hey, maybe this is the bottom, it's a little bit earlier. Sure. Sometimes we come back down here to support and then try to make the move up. But regardless, we're trying to make a rally right now. We'll see if it actually succeeds. That is quite the plan. Oh yeah, very much so. Oh, and the same for you, my backpack. The same message there. Hey, makers. Yeah, I mean, there can only be so many rich people. They want to keep those percentages pretty much the same. But wealth inequality happens a lot during the Fed making unlimited amounts of money. Because remember, all the Fed is doing is propping up the stock market and making stocks go up higher and higher and higher. And if you guys know, well, I don't know how many of you guys watch CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg or just other financial news across, the world here. But you guys have probably heard more and more about buybacks over the last few years. And buybacks are an easy way for stocks to just keep on going higher. You can take out a loan and just buy back your own stock, and it'll keep on going up and up and up and up. And you're going to make money off of that, even with the low interest rates. You haven't heard as many buybacks lately because the interest rates are higher, but still, you guys heard it back in 2020. Buyback, historic billion-dollar buyback, historic billion. All they're doing is keeping the stocks up. That's all they had to do, because again, they can give themselves stocks, they can sell their stocks for money, and everything's fine. It's not a good system, but it's the system we have, and I don't know. Yeah, it's too hard to change. It's too hard for us to change. I don't know about the politicians. They could probably change it if they wanted to, but they can't even agree on not holding stocks. So that's one thing right there. You got me looking at houses in Panama. They got cheap stuff and expensive stuff. You can literally get whatever you want over there. Like as Bitcoin consolidates, I'll show you guys this. There you go. For rent. There you go. Size. Let's just say you want to have a max of like $2,000 rent, which is like pretty American prices. I'm probably going to get something that's maybe even less than that, quite a bit less actually. So I can invest in an office as well. But if you don't want to have something furnished, look at this place. This is $1,800 a month, unfurnished. Look at that view. You got a living room, got a dining room right here. Also, there's a balcony too, a kitchen with an oven in the middle, a lot of counter space, a balcony which you can look at other balconies, a master bedroom with that view, a master bathroom with a closet looks like in here as well, a couple weird looking sinks, a bidet. I think those are bidets. I'm not entirely sure. A shower. A second bedroom with its own bathroom, a third bedroom with its own bathroom, and a balcony that probably connects to the other balcony, and a fourth bedroom with a view. Let's say it goes into that living room area. So the living room, oh, that's the bedroom door right there. Yeah. You get that for $1,800. Or you might even want to say, hey, I don't want to bring stuff down there. For $100 more, you can get a 2,800 square feet, 2,900 square foot loft for $1,900, right? With a view of the city. Doesn't look like an ocean view, but still, He has upstairs and a downstairs. You have a balcony here to enjoy yourself, look down on the roads and whatnot. You get a den, so there's a living room, then a den, then it looks like you got a master. You got 3 bedrooms, a bedroom right here and a few other ones. You know, I'm doing it for a reason. I probably might even find a place that's like $1,200, and it's gonna be large, but and it probably will have a water view. But my goal is to start a business down there, and I can hire people because I can't afford to hire people up here. Or if I were to hire people up here, the cash burn would be so much that I have to start pouring money into it, and I really don't want to take a huge investment on the company. I'd rather just do a small investment. If that requires me to move, so be it, you know? Hey, Pauly G, front run the market? Oh, definitely. Whew. I thought we put them in office? No, I wish. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, I think the majority of people out there right now don't want TikTok to be banned, but, you know, they're probably going to ban TikTok here. A lot of people don't want their representatives to hold stocks, but they won't vote against it. You know what I mean? There's us, and then there's lobbyists. There's a whole different viewpoint of how the game is played. But, you know, as pessimistic as I sound, I think we have a lot more power when it comes to our local governments. You know? That's what I would say is always the silver lining. You know, go talk to your local representative in the House, in your local House, you know, your Washington State House, Washington Senate. Go talk to them. They're always happy to meet with you. I mean, Republican or Democrat, they are always happy to meet with you. Always. I have never had a bad experience with my local House reps and my local House senator. And when I disagree with them, which I do all the time, whether they're Democrat or Republican, there's always something I disagree with. I'm not throwing a fit about it. You know, I try to listen to their reasoning and I disagree. And if I think I don't like them or something, like I feel like if there's somebody going against them, I side with more on different issues, I'll just vote against them, you know? But typically, your local representatives have a lot more impact on your lives than the federal government does for a lot of different things. Like I told you, back when my mom was alive and she was having issues with her driver's license, something was going on with the DMV, and for whatever reason, they would just not give her her driver's license. It was printed and it was sent in the mail, but every single time the mail just, for whatever reason, just wasn't able to deliver it. So it was getting lost in the mail every single time inside this little bureaucratic loophole. And I tried to deal with it for my mom for about 2 weeks or so. Then eventually I just got pissed off and I called my local representative for my little area within, you know, Washington State, Tacoma. I talked to her staff member. I gave her my number and my information. I was like, hey, can you please help? Can you give me a call back? They called back. I went in for a meeting at the office and I just talked for them for about half an hour. They were happy to listen to me. Let alone a week later, me and my mom went over. I drove my mom over to the DMV. Well, there's a line outside the DMV because it was like during COVID times and stuff. So you had to wait outside before you went inside. We were waiting in line. They called my mom's name up right at the front, you know, right as they were opening the doors. I walked up with my mom. We grabbed the ID in an envelope that was mailed to her that somehow was just never getting there. And then boom, we left. Local representatives are a lot more helpful. They're a lot more connected to you. Patty Murray, which is my state senator that goes off to DC. It's so much more difficult to get in touch with her. She doesn't really listen to anything I say. Her staff doesn't listen to anything I really say. But the local people, they care. They care. Because they live here. They still live here. That's something. You know, they actually still live in the neighborhoods and so forth. And you can go to fundraisers and say hi to them. You can go to different parties that they go to. You can say hi to them. You know, you can go to different events and stuff around Olympia, which is our state capital here in Washington. You can go over. I'm much more optimistic about local government, which is why I like a smaller federal government, because I'd rather the power be something a little bit closer to home, if you will. Do I have a Second Amendment in Panama? I do not. I do not have the right to bear arms. I think there's a way for me to get guns if I really wanted to, but I don't even think I'd probably want a gun in Panama, but I think there's a way for me to get it, yes. What makes one rich isn't net worth, it's quality of life and housing and water, food as needed, and there's plenty of, oh yeah. Pretty much, yeah, quality of life. Remember, I got drunk, well, I didn't get drunk. I went up to Seattle for a crypto event, then I proceeded to go down to grab some drinks. Then I proceeded to come back down. that whole night of me Ubering up there because it was a little bit later on at night and I didn't want to take the train because it takes too long because I don't want to leave Loki alone for too long. That whole night probably cost me, what, $150 in Uber to get up there. Then it cost me maybe like $5 in Uber to get over to the next place. No, it didn't cost me anything because I had Uber One in it, like gives you cash back for doing it, so it was a free ride. And then I went to this speakeasy in the Fairmont Hotel. I probably spent like $300 with drink and a tip. It was really good drinks. I got pretty buzzed. And I paid another $150 to get back to my place. It was like $300 plus $300, so $600. It's about like $630, $640 with tips for the Ubers. And then, I was like, okay, I can afford it, but man, you just know that's sucking you dry. And then I proceeded to go live for a few hours once I got back, and I was still pretty tipsy, but I wasn't so drunk I couldn't talk. Hey Jake, it really depends on your plan for what you're looking to do in the market. If you want to be buying back in right now, for me, buying right now, I'm looking to probably sell in a few months if I'm buying right now. My strategy is usually to wait for the momentum to really pick up a little bit more. But if you're looking for day trades, you could try to trade this breakout if you want to. The 1 hour and stuff is probably looking okay, but it's going to be a day trade. It's not going to be a swing trade necessarily. For me to do a larger trade where I'm buying Dogecoin or Bitcoin or something and I'm holding it for just a few weeks and not a few months, I'm going to have to see a little bit more stability from Bitcoin before I start making those plays myself. But again, what I am doing is I am buying a lot of different assets right now, and I'm basically just waiting for Bitcoin to start going back up to $80,000, $90,000, and then I'll probably sell some of the tokens that I'm buying right now in that scenario. Every Thursday, what I do is I buy $500. Well, I put $500 into an account with all of you guys, and then what I do is I put about $300 to $400 into 2 or 3x leverage plays, and then we hold them for a few months, and we just dollar cost average. So yesterday we were down $350. Today I think we were down $150, like when I checked a few hours ago during the last stream. And right now we're down $137, so just a little bit less. But the first time I did the trade back in December, and I sold on March 2nd, we were down like $1,000 at the worst. So we're used to being down before the money really pulls in here. And when I come back later on tomorrow, I'll be adding more to the positions here, and we'll be, adding more. It doesn't matter what the prices are. We're just going to be adding more to different cryptocurrencies. And I'll tell you guys right now, and I got 2 more sponsors online coming up on the 1st here. Apparently they like my style of this my type of talk, because apparently there's not many people like me as far as what they're saying. You guys can answer that. You guys probably watch more influencers than me. But the 2 new sponsors are going to be Blowfin and then Bitmart. And they're both going to give me some cash to trade with you guys. So I'm going to let you guys decide the portfolios. It seems like from what I've heard so far, we're going to have a little bit in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you guys want to go heavy into meme tokens and AI tokens. So we'll do that a lot on the 1st. And so if we have $2,000 in the positions each, we'll probably just invest $1,500 into it. And I believe with both of them, actually, they're going to try to pay me $2,000 a month. Instead of taking it out and putting it in my pocket, I'll just put it into there. And so we can have like these larger accounts kind of rolling on through, investing everything in the meme tokens and seeing where they kind of go. The only thing is, I really hope that inflation doesn't start to spike up over the next few months, because that would be the disaster scenario where the market has to really go down for a little bit before ultimately the halving happens. And then of course we'll probably still go much higher, but I'd rather everything be in line for us to make those larger moves. Hey Blake, thoughts on Big Time? Big Time's been going sideways for a hot minute here. I still have some positions on it. I'm still holding it. But I wish it would finally make a move. So I'm thinking it's probably going to go boom out of nowhere. If I go sideways here, there you go. There we are. We can take this old breakdown down here. Sideways. I'm hoping we can get a good move here. I think we will eventually, but I've just been doing a little bit of dollar cost averaging since it's back at a pretty cheap price. The market cap is still pretty low as last time I remember. I believe it was. Let's go back over here to get this set up, and let me go over here to coinmarketcap.com for you. Did I mess up something? Oh, there it is right there. There you go. Yeah, the market cap is 213 million. Still nice in that sweet, juicy spot that I like. That's the last of the cigar right there. All right. It's on a bunch of exchanges, which I really, really do like. It's still, you know, it's still available for people to trade. So that means I think it has a good opportunity of going boom later on. But it does have a small market cap and, of course, the X account, if you will. 300,000 followers or close to it. Right? The female character model is coming, but it'll be patched 3.0. They still have people liking their posts. They're still posting a lot. And basically, everybody right now is just waiting for that next big pop to occur, if you will. And thanks, Ty. I appreciate it. That was a lot of that was a lot of stuff. And hey, Ty, I almost went with Blowfin. Yeah, I looked at Blowfin. I like them a lot. Same with BitMEX. I think Blowfin is probably a really good exchange that I want to show you off to you guys quite a bit here. And then I just have to add their sponsor banners and stuff. But I think I'll add them. I think I'm gonna get started with them. Excuse me. April 1st. That's gonna be a fun day to go live. But yeah. Probably April 1st is when I'm going to kick everything off. I still want to test some things out and learn a little bit more about them, because over the next week, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating some tutorials for them. But I've been meaning to do tutorials for everything anyway, so I need to do tutorials for that. And I want to make a video talking about leverage and that type of stuff. So I probably will just use Fairdesk, or yeah, probably Fairdesk for that one, which should be fine. Hey Sullivan, right now no price targets for Injective. I understand it's been going sideways, but it kind of follows that same mood as Big Time. Well, I'm just gonna hope that it can go up pretty fast out of nowhere like it did before, and then on that next big move, I'll probably scale out a little bit here because I've been holding on to it for quite a bit of time. I have 3K in my 401k to allocate to something. I'm thinking Bitcoin miner possibility or go with SoFi. SoFi has been something I've enjoyed for a while here, even though it's a bank. It's been nice to hold in my account. Big Time is moving like molasses up here on a cold day. Back when I was in high school and I played football, I was a slow runner when I first started to, you know, because I was a lineman, I was just a little bit slow runner. My coach would come over like, Michael, you know molasses is faster than you, right? And I was like, yeah, what do you say? What do you call it? Oh, molasses on ice is faster than me. And I was like, damn, coach. Damn. Marathon was up nicely today, 16%. I was thinking a smaller miner that's in growth phase like Bitfarms as well. I think it'll work out. Usually we see a lot more volatility around the halving because, of course, if they don't grow their warehouses and stuff, they lose like half their profit basically. So you're going to see them try to grow more and more. And I'm hoping that they have some new chips out there. I've been hearing all these new AI chips with NVIDIA and so forth. I really wonder if there's a way to utilize those to get more profit from mining, to mine a little bit more efficiently, even if it does cost a little bit more from an investment. As Bitcoin's price goes up more and more and more, I do believe they're going to have some good runs here down the road. But it's definitely something I'm probably just going to hold into the cycle high for miners. Or, you know, even MicroStrategy has been a great investment for many people over the last few months as well. Oh, geez. My gosh, look at this guy go. Games in June, it's play to burn ecosystem, meaning that the more you play, the more you burn mechanism, the more value into the D-Dogs. Oh, there you go. So there's lots of other things going on right now with a lot of metaverse tokens too. So I'm a fan of the metaverse tokens so far. I've been trying to buy more and more of them over the past few months. Here. There we are. Okay. So while we do this very fast, make sure my head is still in frame. I like to switch from side to side here. let's see what's actually moving up and what's moving down. So over the last 24 hours, here's the big movers. Ondo is up 43%, Floki is up 40%, AXL is up 30%, Pepe is up 20% here. So we do see some stronger moves here. Let me scroll down a little bit so you guys can see. Dogecoin's up 20%. You know, where is Sheeb at? Did Sheeb have a big move today or not? Yeah, Sheep only rose up 11% over the last 24 hours. Why is that? Well, it's still holding support, which is nice. But this one definitely has not been making those higher moves. I wonder if I should buy a little bit more of this since it still is a little bit undervalued. Like you see, I mean, I guess nothing is as high as it once was back over here when the meme tokens are really roaring. Because even Dogecoin is still far away from that 20-cent level, what, the 21-cent level that I got back up to? How far away from the highs is Sheep from? So it's about 70% away from the highs over the last 16 days. Wow. How far is Dogecoin doing right now? Dogecoin looks a little bit more stable. I know I had that drop of the last few days, but it's at only about 27%. So I think Sheeb is looking for some buyers right now, that's for sure. And let me go over here. Because the lower market cap meme tokens have definitely been having a lot of... I guess some have been having a lot of pain, but they've been very, very volatile to say the least here. Like Boom, coming back down a little bit more here. I mean, let's go to the 4-hour chart. You can see how it started off really, really good, and it's died off a little bit. Milady, come down quite a bit as well, kind of like a Sheeb. This is a 4-hour chart, not a daily chart, 4-hour chart. Floki had a breakout over here. Looks like it went a little bit higher after that breakout. Whiff, still consolidating. So the last breakout that we had ended up working out pretty well. What do you guys think about this breakout right here? So I'm dollar cost averaging this, so whenever it does break out, I'll be happy. But you can definitely see a larger consolidation happening here, which means we could see Whiff go all the way up here towards $6 or $7 on this next rally here, which could be very, very juicy. But again, this will be the time when Bitcoin's making those higher moves and so forth. Ocean with the AI protocol, this one's going up a little bit higher right now, but definitely not as high as it once was. The FA though, the FA, I don't know. The name is PHA, but I just can't call it anything but FA. This has been the lucky one that I bought a few days ago that's still doing very, very well. When did we buy this? Somewhere down here, I think, or somewhere over here, I forget. No, 18 cents. Yeah, I still have it marked. We bought it down here somewhere. Look at that. Still doing pretty well here. I'm gonna keep on holding it though. I hope it's able to sustain itself. If it comes back down, I'll be pretty disappointed in myself for not selling. But well, no, that's because that's not the plan. But still, I will enjoy if this thing goes up more because that means more money in my pocket. Anything else? Spell token still going sideways after all that nonsense it did. This is a much smaller market cap token, so right now it's down about 36%. Even this, it still hasn't fallen down as much as Shiba Inu. Maybe because Shiba Inu had this really large move right here and it just, you know, came down pretty hard. Still needs some time to cook though. But the daily chart is cooling off a little bit more. The weekly chart, how's it look? It's more mixed. It looks like still fairly bullish. This one might need like another 2-3 weeks before it really starts to take off again. I mean, this weekly chart for Sheep does not look pleasant at all. How's Bonk look? Bonk is one of those other ones. Yeah, definitely came back down more, kind of a similar pattern as Shiba Inu. And then Dogecoin, of course, still trying to hold on, but not necessarily looking that much better on the weekly charts. But we were able to break out, which is a very good sign for the things to come, though. And so was Shiba able to break out, so that's still good for things to come too. There we are. Okay. Collab with CryptoFace? I'm trying to collab with more people. I haven't done the outreach that I need to be doing, but I should be outreaching to more people. If you ever join somebody else's stream, definitely just say, hey, you know, collab with Michael. Reach out to Michael, and he'll probably reach out to me instead of reaching out to him. And I'd be happy to collab with people. Hey Wilder, I'll probably stream a little bit in the afternoon tomorrow, like maybe around 1 o'clock Pacific time, like at market close basically. and then I'll probably try to stream around 5 o'clock after that, or maybe 6 o'clock Pacific time, and then I'll probably try to stream around 10 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll do a morning stream when I wake up, but typically, like, my morning routine is usually wake up, grab a cup of coffee, take Loki outside for a couple of hours, basically, and then I pretty much start my day. Like, that's why you guys always see me doing those videos in the morning, like, hey, everybody, you know, that's typically why I'm doing that, because I know I'm not going to be on my computer for at least a couple hours when I record that video. But yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. And then, yeah, that'll probably be it for tomorrow. Friday, though, I might not be streaming as much at all because my sister's coming back from college and I want to spend the day with her. I have to pick her up from the train station, and then from there we are going to go to my grandparents' place, go grab dinner. I'm going to take her right out to dinner for that night, and then I might stream, but it might be much later on that night. So I might stream on Friday, but just for a little bit. Saturday, probably not going to be streaming much at all because I will be taking down this computer, unplugging everything, the monitors, everything. I'm plugging the desk because this desk is an electronic desk, moving it back into the living room area over there because remember I took it out because of the flooding. And then I'll be live probably Sunday. I'll probably go ham on Sunday, but take Saturday off completely unless something crazy is happening, which something probably crazy will be happening on Saturday. So I may go live just later than when everything is happening, unfortunately. Hey, thanks, Dale. I really do appreciate that, my man. I'm new, only been watching for a few days, but I can tell you're knowledgeable on crypto and you have a good delivery. Glad I found your channel. You've taught me some things already. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, man. I always appreciate those types of comments. CryptoFace ID maybe is here and here now. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Hey, CryptoFace. Sorry, my man. I got into my long spiels. I see the super chat now. Damn, my bad. I love the thumbnail. I appreciate it a lot, my man. I just revamped my thumbnails, actually, now you say that. I've been trying to go for more of those eye pops. You probably saw that I try to do like something of the... What do you call those people? The Mr. Beast types of people, where they have these really flashy thumbnails. I'm going to try to bring that into the crypto space. Feel free to copy the style if you want to. I feel like crypto has its own distinct style, so I'm trying to differentiate myself from all those other people. Like, if you go and look at like Crypto Lifer and stuff like that, they have his own style. Tom Crown has his own style. Crypto Winnie has a little bit of own style, but it all kind of fits into that narrative. Maybe there's like MM Crypto that has that really, you know, hot dog in the mouth style face and things like that. But definitely trying to do more stuff here. Hey, second time in here, I appreciate a lot, CryptoFace, a lot. Yeah. Then yeah, okay, then we can collab. Eye pop, open mouth. Yeah, there we go. Eye pop, open mouth. Yeah, but I'm not gonna have the open mouth. It's just gonna be the eye pop, and I don't even do eye pops because, as my eye doctor says, I have a little bit of a lazy eye. So I try not to show it off too much here. I try not to show it off too much. And hey, Trav, hope you're doing well, man. I'm behind, but I saw Super Whale pumped Sheeb. Maybe he sold a bunch. I'm guessing that's part of it here. You know, I'm not saying Sheeb is like done for in this cycle. I'm just saying like, wow, it's definitely come back down a little bit harder. And I've dollar cost averaged it for sure, but I'm hoping it has a pretty robust boom like it did just the last time around, right? So here, I'm about to quit my job. Oh, Trav, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Every time I've quit a job, it's been a bad thing. It's always because I've hated my upper management. And thanks, Evil Shred. I appreciate that. Here, CryptoFace Beast Trader. That is for sure. That is for sure right there. Let me move this over here very fast. The overall market seems to be just okay right now. Let's see. I want to see if there's any more news coming out today. Because it seems like, oh yeah. I mean, there's gold. Cool, gold is fine. That's not really what I care about. What do you guys think about Reddit? Are you guys thinking about buying this or not? I don't really feel the need to buy Reddit because it's not like an AI or a tech company, so I just don't feel any incentive to do so. But I'm curious, are you guys going to be buying Reddit at $34 per share? If it comes down towards $15, I might be more incentivized to buy it. But I don't know if people are really going to be going crazy for it at 34 bucks a share, valuing the company at 6.5 billion, because it's not profitable yet, I don't think. No, Reddit isn't profitable yet. Not yet. I think it might get profitable maybe over the next couple years or so, but I don't think it's profitable just yet. Investors are closely monitoring Reddit's debut following the IPO dry spell. Reddit, the 19-year-old website that hosts millions of online forums, priced its IPO on Wednesday at $34 a share, the top of the expected range. Oh, so that's even, yeah, it's kind of the higher part of it then. The ticker will be RDDT. First made, okay, Pinterest to be okay. Interesting. So I'm curious what would happen. It might be a good day trading candidate for the first day or two, but I don't know if I would hold it longer than maybe just a couple of days of having some fun day trading. I remember what happened when Robinhood went live and it just went up for a while, then it kind of cratered down. But I'm curious to see what happens next. Lazy I'd be the best thumbnail. It would pop off guaranteed. We need Grunman. We don't need to open mouths on thumbnails. Do you know Forrest Whitaker? I don't know if he got his eye fixed, but every time I see him in that movie, The Last King of Scotland, his face always makes me laugh because he has that lazy eye. Now his lazy eye is a little bit worse than me, but no, where's that famous image of him in this thing? If I just type in crazy, it might pop up here. Oh, there's one of them right there. Oh, it's not, can't see it. There's one of them right there. The last king of Bitcoin. There's another one of them. Oh man, this guy just looks scary in everything he's in when he has that lazy eye and he looks like he wants to torment you. Definitely can get you there. Definitely can get you there. Collab with Joe Kierman. I actually don't know Joe Kierman. I'll have to look him up after the stream. And hey, Kira, have a good rest of your night. Very good rest of your night. And hey, Michael, what's your take on the rumor that SEC is pursuing Ethereum as a security? We talked about this a little bit ago, and I have to say, it's probably true. It's probably true. They do not want that sucker to be turned into an ETF. I'm sure it will be eventually, but they're going to try to slow it down as much as possible. They lost the battle for Bitcoin, and they were pretty ticked off about it. It was pretty embarrassing for them, to say the least. And they, like we talked about a little bit ago as well, they just got in trouble with a judge. A judge admonished them and said they'd pay back fees to another crypto company, which they did a lawsuit towards. So I would say they're going to pull out all the tricks. It doesn't matter how dirty. They're going to try to play them all. And we're just going to have to rely on the judicial system, to fix everything and make sure everything is working out okay. But they have not been in acting in the best of faith for the last couple of years, that's for sure. But it's the regime in power, so we're going to have to really just hope that, you know, as much as they try to grind Ethereum down and try to take control of it, we just have to hope, I would say, that the judicial system is going to be able to solve all of this for us, because, you know, we're not going to be able to do anything here. I know, I see right there. And hey, Evil Shred, that's always a good plan. Allocate 5% of my portfolio for low cap gems. They really have been some nice low caps so far this bull market here. RDDT equal poison. Oh man. How do I feel about Shiba? I own it, but I'm not really buying much into it right now. I might buy a little bit more, but I'm basically just waiting for a larger move to happen. It's come down a lot since it peaked a few weeks ago. Reddit will come out, and as you said, they're not profitable, so shares will probably go down. Forrest Whitaker is a great actor, by the way. Oh, absolutely fantastic. So here. Have I looked into Flux? I have not looked into Flux. Let me check it out very fast. The fun thing about crypto is there's always going to be tons of tokens that I have not checked out before. So there's a Flux right here at a $482 million market cap. Let's just go over to the website and see what's going on with it. Okay, good. Okay. Let's see. Got CryptoFace. I will send you an email, or you send me an email. I'll probably have to go through the business email on your YouTube account if you have one, which I'm guessing you do. I'll send you an email tomorrow. No, let me do this right now. Crypto, or at least take a note on it. Please email tomorrow. Okay, I have it there just so I can kind of keep track of it, so we can do a collab. Let's see. Okay, there you go. All right, decentralized WordPress. Ooh, WordPress runs on Flux Cloud. Build on Web3. Oh, it's infrastructure. Oh, that's beautiful. I love infrastructure. The Flux Cloud is a people-powered network to help you build decentralized applications with increased flexibility, scalability, and censorship resistance. Ooh, that's nice. Calculate the cost of your solution. Give you a cost. Country locations. It's in 78 countries. Finland, Germany, United States. Total nodes, 13,000. Total RAM, 265 terabytes. Next generation of the internet. Oh yeah. Web3, read, write, and own privacy. That's what's going to be so much fun about all this. It'll be nice to own my own content and my own streams. The bandwidth is cheaper as well. Yeah, so run your website using WordPress in a decentralized and redundant manner. Not your drive, not your file. Flux Drive stores your data in decentralized. Yeah, I could see myself buying into this, but how much is it? I mean, it's not how much. Where can I buy it? Oh, it's on a lot of different exchanges here, so I can probably try to buy this sometime today. Yeah, crypto.com. That's what I want to see right there. Yeah, I'll probably pop $100 into this after the stream here. 139, I can live with that. Small market cap, so it's not going to kill me with the 481 million. I could buy into that one right there. That's something that I can hold for a long time, though. That's something worthy of a long-term investment type of a scenario where I'm not just holding it for this cycle, but I'm also holding a little bit for the long term here. Run a Flux node that makes money. I should have bought into Flux at 40 cents, but it's so good. It's KDA, but I'm holding Block and Gala long term. Those are good plays as well. Gala, I think Gala was actually trending today on Twitter or X. Here. Is it still? Nickelodeon is trending. Baron is trending. Les Parnas is trending. Big Data Analytics. Bob Bulinski. I don't know who that is. Drake Bell. Texas. Star Wars. Cyclops. Jamie Raskin. FOMC. Hunter Biden. A lot of politics going on today. Brian Peck. Elon. Josh Peck. Peter Navarro. I could have swore Gala was trending earlier today, but I guess it's been an hour since I last checked. X-Men 97, there might be a new trailer out here pretty soon. Hey, Mr. Miles, sometimes they're good ones to take a little bit of time to really have a big move, but if they're a business like that, you definitely want to be holding them for a little bit longer than just the cycle. It's an old project? Oh, that makes sense though. Sometimes those older projects take a little bit longer to really gear up. But I'd still buy some just off of what I saw off the website, even though I haven't done enough research on it technically, but it looks good to me. The Last King was terrifying. Oh yeah, it was great. I love that movie so much. Actually, that movie got me scared to ever go to Africa. I still need to go to Africa to like see how it is and check it out because I've heard good things about it. But that one really freaked me out. I know. Actually, another thing that freaked me out was one of my friends wound me. He's a good friend from high school. He went over there and he's African black, he's Nigerian, and that guy got a sunburn. I've never gotten a sunburn in my life, and I'd be terrified to get one because from what I understand, they're pretty painful things, right? But apparently he got a sunburn out there, and I was like, it was so hot in Nigeria that a black guy got sunburned. My God. So I might have to wear some sunscreen out there, but I definitely need to go out there. Maybe if I go to Europe one time, I'll just kind of like do a little trip to Morocco, then Nigeria, over and kind of check out some different spots around Africa. And thanks, BY, I really do appreciate it. Well, heck, with you guys and with CryptoFace, giving me coming over and Crypto Lifer, I should be able to find somebody to do some collaborations with, so I'll send them an email here and then get that ball rolling as fast as possible. And then I didn't know either at the time. I didn't know either. And you can still see his sunburn to this day on the back of his neck. That's what scares me. It's like it's a long lasting thing. But I'm hoping I can do a collab with Crypto Lifer and then CryptoFace, and then on top of that, if I'm lucky, maybe me and CryptoFace and Crypto Lifer can all get together and sing Kumbaya as Bitcoin reaches like $100,000 or something. That'd be kind of a fun experience. Because the cool thing about me right now is that I can kind of go live whenever, so I can just kind of like grind. And if he wants me to join his stream, I'm happy to kind of go over there and just start talking. If he wants to join this stream, I have to kind of learn how to have people on my stream, though. I'm not necessarily used to it, but maybe I can have I'm not entirely sure how it would work. I'm probably sure I would have to have some type of Discord call with him or a Zoom, and then I just cut both of our faces into the stream so we can kind of talk, and then have a specific section where it's just our heads, and then it's our charts and stuff like that. I'm sure I can make it work. It's just going to be a process, but it probably shouldn't take too long to set everything up. I messaged you on Twitter, man. I love the club. Oh, there we go. Okay, so anytime, dude. Anytime. Like, that's the good thing. That's the good thing about doing crypto streaming. Usually free whenever. All right, so I'll message you after the stream here in a few minutes. I can't wait until the metaverse is where you can own actual real estate, and it's about making passive income. My goal is to make just $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and I am not greedy. Living in Canada is a nightmare. Well, yeah, I remember we were just talking about the inflation with Canada yesterday and how crazy it is with renters inflation. Yeah, I'll show you. Canada. There you go. Yeah, I was wondering why your inflation is going up so much. Like, it's still going up. Like, I'm used to just looking at American data, so, you know, American data, it's been coming down a little bit. It's gone down from, like, however high it was, down to, like, 6%. You guys are climbing. You guys aren't even going down. But then a lot of people said a lot of the land is uninhabitable, which, okay, I get it now, but I'm like, you can still expand, right? Because, like, you know, I live in Washington. We have... Like, go to Bellingham map. Washington, there you go. So this is, you know, a city right before you start going over to the border to Canada up here. Like, you know, I know, like, eventually they start carving everything up and they start building more and more houses, and you get houses like this. Oh, it's a gated neighborhood. Well, I can still peek in right here. Right? Get all your houses and whatnot. Whatever that Mercedes van is, little Sprinter. You know, they start building it out more and more and more. Like, even where, like, you see, they're gonna have to start carving. Oh, they already are. They're slowly. It looks like they're slowly carving it out. Slowly carving it out. Does it just go into woods? Like at the end here? Yeah, just go straight into woods. Yeah, that's what happens out here. They're gonna start having hills and whatnot, and of course, I guess, you know, this is just where I live over there, or where, you know, where I know most of the Canada stuff. Go over here. There's farms. They can build it out. They have to have a reason to, though. Like, I feel like Canada needs to start more cities, which is always a hard thing to do. You got Winnipeg. Winnipeg is the new capital of Canada, or I don't know if it's capital already, but, you know, they gotta really go all in. Why is the ground like this? It's just pavement? Oh, okay. I'm like, I know everything outside that should be green. Yeah, okay. But they're doing it slowly. This is what the new neighborhoods in Washington State look like. Yeah, my grandparents live in a neighborhood like this. Different style of house, but Georgetown, yeah, looks nice. Oh yeah, look at all the new patterns and stuff like that. They just got to build a lot more. Go crazy with it. Another 100,000 units out here. Buy up all the farmland. The fact that you guys protect your lakes is crazy. We do not protect our lakes like this. Like, if you go to any small lake around Washington, that's a big lake. But if I go over here to Mineral Lake, or where are we at? Right here, Eatonville, like Ohop Lake and stuff like this, there's usually all these little houses scattered all around. They've all been bought up, And they're pretty nice houses. Oh, there's no things there. I guess like this one, there's no houses on this road. Or are there? I can't tell. No, those look like just trees and so forth. But a lot of these little lakes around here, they all have houses around them. Until you zoom in, you can't really tell. But like, there's summer houses and stuff. Oh, Clear Lake. This is actually a really nice lake to go fishing on. But you can see there's all these houses. All these houses. Even if you go over here to Lakewood, which is... People think it's a really bad neighborhood. But if you get past the ghetto side, I think Lakewood is where the show Cops was started. So shows you kind of what neighborhood it is. You go over here. Lake house, lake house, lake house, lake house. Nice house with all that land over there. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Holmes Island. Look at that. You know, they try to sneak houses on everything. One of my friends, their parents live... Oh, there's another lake right here. Oh, there's actually no houses on this one. This one's actually pretty nice. They built... Oh, Washington State Capitol building and campus. Okay, so it's government. They're trying to stop it from going over there. Or am I in Olympia? Oh, I'm in Olympia. I'm in the state capitol. Of course, they're going to try to make it a little bit nicer. If you go over here, there's a little island somewhere over here where there's like a little bit of houses. And there's no sense for there to be a house over here. Or, Days Island right here. And there's a little bridge. And basically, there's just the tiniest houses on here. And boom, they all have their little lot. The road is so small, like, right? But a lake everywhere. Actually, these houses aren't too small. I hate driving over here personally, but got a house, got a view of the water on the other side. Nice little house right here with the UPS driver looking at the car because it's a cool little car. Pretty darn nice. There we are. StreamYards. Oh, there we go. StreamYards. I can do that one right there. Streamlabs. Streamlabs. There's different ones. I've been... Some of you guys recommended these a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure. So I'll keep track of them. We are in a housing and rental crisis, but they are allowed a new carbon tax and a rent increase of 3.5. Oh, geez. That is wild. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works out. That just seems... Everything's just going up in prices here. The area you're talking about has winter 8 months a year. Oh, geez. They got to have some cool winter houses or something. Canadians have some good technology. They can find a way to survive. Let's not move up to the North Pole, but anything south of that might have some opportunities. I see. Hey, makers. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that. Little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes make ticky-tacky. What? Hillside boxes all the same? I don't even know what that means. That might be a rhyme or a riddle. Wrong spaces. My neighborhood has many vacancies. I don't think there's many vacancies out here. Like there's Seattle and Tacoma. So there's a lot of like numerical ones, but I don't know exactly how many what the percentage of vacancies are for buildings. It's probably somewhere around 20 to 30%, I would say. But again, you know, anything in Seattle is definitely going to cost you an arm and a leg if you want to live there. If you want to have space, it's going to cost you a lot. Because again, who are you competing against? You're competing with all the people that work for Amazon, Microsoft, T-Mobile, Boeing, you know, Zillow people are there. There's a whole bunch of corporate, you know, buildings up there in Seattle. It's into the intro song from Weeds. Used to be a big hit. Oh, I see what you're saying. I never watched Weeds. I don't think I had this. I don't think I had that streaming service at the time. It'll be a while, Brandon. It'll be a while, but when it happens, everybody's gonna be hyped. 23% increase in carbon tax April Fool's Day. Oh, geez, yeah. The average rent in Vancouver for one bedroom is $2,500 and no vacancy. The no vacancy is the wild part. That's the wild part. At least Seattle has tons of open spots. Like if I go over here to here, Zillow Seattle. There we are. All right, look at all those units. And let's just say I want to rent. There's still lots of rentals out there. Like let's say you don't want to live in the city. Let's say you want to live up over on Capitol Hill or something. You get these apartment buildings like this, you know, 2.5 thousand. So it's not technically downtown, but it's close enough where you can feel like, oh, I can go downtown for the night without having to spend an arm and a leg. You know, not terrible. So it's $2,500 for 815 square feet. Again, it's pricey, but at least you're kind of in a decent neighborhood, you know? Here's one for 1,500. That one's 500 square feet. It's a studio apartment though. But again, you know, nice stuff in here. Nice stuff, nice stuff. People are typically pretty happy with it. But again, it's expensive. It's expensive. Do I miss the Seattle Sonics? I very much do. I very, very much do. I'm hoping we get one eventually. We have the new Ice Rink Stadium, which also is supposed to double as a NBA stadium. So I think the city is working on getting a new team here eventually, which will get people very excited to be going in and watching the games. As long as they don't make the games too expensive. The problem with the old stadium was there wasn't much traffic, or there wasn't an easy way to get to the stadium and park, and it was a very tedious experience just to go to a game. They've really fixed it up. I think they were just the whole experience, like from leaving your house to getting to the game, you know, walking to the arena, leaving the arena, and the traffic. I think they've really kind of fixed it up a little bit more, which is nice. Still traffic, but again, not nearly as bad as it was back over there when we had the Sonics. Vancouver? Oh, let me go back over here. Didn't spell that properly, but that's okay. Oh, don't want to do that. And let's go over here for rent. 1,600 one bed, 1,645 one bed, 1,300 one bed. They got one that's right here. It's a very small place, it looks like. It's 750 square feet. The appliances don't look anything like the ones in Seattle. Yeah. So definitely a smaller place. That's for sure. I like how they have the dryers in that hidden space though. Yeah, so it's a little bit of space. One person can probably be okay in that type of space, you know. I like a lot more room, of course, but still. Here's a cheap one. Oh, that's 1.6. I thought it was 1.1. Oh, here's one. 1.2. For 675 square feet. It looks like there's only 4 units in it too. So you really got to be lucky to hurry up and get into one of these. Doesn't even have pictures on it though. There's no pictures. So who knows what it actually looks like inside. They're going to try to trick you to get hopping in there before the, in order to learn more about it. I love the Mariners. They're great. I need to get a Mariners hat actually. Link or Polygon, more price potential. For me, I'd probably say Chainlink for now, but I do like Polygon towards the end of the bull markets. Hey Rob, it really depends on your strategy. If you're happy with Dogecoin kind of up 10%, you want to lock in those profits, you can sell. But typically, every time you make a trade, you definitely want to have a plan ahead of time, so you know when you want to sell and when you want to have a stop loss to protect yourself from becoming a mini bag holder. Right now, though, it's completely up to you. So a lot of people that have been day trading, that's what I've been saying over the last few days. Day trading has been a lot better for me. Swing trading has been too volatile for my stop losses to kind of handle. So, you know, it's really up to what you want to do and what your individual plan is. Hey, Protect Me, yeah, I'm anticipating a large move to happen after the halving here. I'm just hoping inflation doesn't go sky high during that time period. A lot of those cheap apartments are scams. Oh, I'm sure there's some type of fee associated with it for sure. It definitely gets a little bit annoying when you have to like go through the process. You have to do the application fees and so forth, and you still pay the application fees even if you don't actually get the apartment. I am holding Block and Golly. Yes, I am, Meekers. There you go. All right, but okay, buddy, I'm gonna end the stream right now. It's midnight my time. I need to get some sleep here so I can stream with you guys a lot tomorrow. I am liking these more spread out streams that they're doing instead of these like very, very long streams. But long story short, I'm still not 100% sold on Bitcoin going crazy. I've basically been dollar cost averaging throughout these last week or so, just because I'm like, well, since over here, since like Saturday, because I know eventually, well, I believe eventually we are going to be moving higher up here, and I want to be able to take that profit. But until I see all the oscillators, everything start to point for Bitcoin to be going up, I'm not going to be doing any swing trades where I'm holding for multiple days, except for those very long-term ones where I'm holding for like, 2 to 3 months, etc. Right? So still going to be patient, still not going crazy all in on Bitcoin. You may see Bitcoin continue to go sideways a little bit more here, but I would say today we're going to be looking at a lot more volatility, especially as the market opens up around, and the ETFs try to move some money in here. We've been seeing inflows and outflows really die down over the past few days. So, once Bitcoin stabilizes here, I think you might see people try to hop back into the crypto markets and thereby cause the ETFs to start loading up more Bitcoin. Okay. So I will see you guys a little bit later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really appreciate you guys joining the stream tonight. We will, we'll be talking like 3 different streams tomorrow. So, have a good night, everybody. Thanks.